I'm Manda Factor. Our top story, 3 new measles cases have been confirmed in Snohomish County. We've been following a small outbreak there since a family that visited from South Carolina became sick after Christmas. That family is linked to at least the first 3 cases of measles in Snohomish County. This latest case confirmed in an unvaccinated child. County health officers say there was an exposure while they were at an afternoon service at the Slavic Christian Church Awakening in Mukilteo, January 18th. They're asking you to check vaccination status if you were there. A teenager in Snohomish County has died from influenza. It's the state's first flu-related death this season involving a child. Dr. James Lewis is with the Snohomish County Health Department and tells KIRO 7 TV it's not too late to get your flu shot.
Not only will it reduce your risk of being significantly ill from the flu, but it can also reduce your chance of spreading that to someone else.
It's not clear if the teen had any underlying symptoms. Statewide, the number of flu-related deaths has climbed to 59 this season. A 35-year-old man accused of killing his parents in Federal Way is now officially charged. Court documents accuse Mick Carmichael of strangling them last week. Police found Grace and Gregory Carmichael inside their home with blunt force injuries. According to the Seattle Times, Carmichael has a long criminal history in Washington and Arizona. Judges issued several protection orders over the years to shield people from his violent behavior. The Washington State Senate has passed a bill banning law enforcement from wearing masks while on duty. We get the update from KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglovin.
This is Bill 5855. It bolsters an existing state law that requires officers to be reasonably identifiable through a badge or a name tag. Now, this bill prohibits opaque face coverings like balaclavas and tactical masks. The bill is on the way to the House. Governor Bob Ferguson has been pushing for its passing, saying he will sign it when it hits his desk.
Local authorities have a warning ahead of this summer's World Cup matches in Seattle.
We do expect to see a spike in sex trafficking. With the event comes a ton of tourism.
Brayla McGinnis, with the King County Prosecutor's Office Human Trafficking Unit, tells KIRO 7 TV, if someone is caught buying sex, they are only charged with a misdemeanor. This month, her office is asking lawmakers to change that misdemeanor to a felony. If House Bill 2526 passes, that would happen before the first World Cup match. And the voice of the Mariners suffered a tearful farewell ahead of his final season in the broadcast booth. Rick Riz spoke to reporters yesterday saying it's been an incredible ride.
You know, you get to a certain point where you're not that little kid, watching the games on TV.
He has spent 51 years calling professional baseball, 40 of them right here in Seattle.
It's the people that you meet along the way. And yeah, this is going to be my last year, but I'm not going anywhere. I still want to hang out with the ball club.
He says he'll continue to call home games, but Riz will get some well-deserved time off for road trips. It's 5:13. Well, speaking of road trips, let's check the drive on this early Thursday morning. Chris Sullivan is here with an update on traffic.
Well, it's our first morning drive with a little bit of wet stuff to deal with out there today, so just keep that in mind. Overall, the travel times and the drive looks really good as you're making your way around. We've got about a 35-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue, 35 from Federal Way to Seattle. Northbound 167 does have some brake lights as you approach the Kent area, but overall it's under 40 minutes to go from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue, quiet at 15 minutes. Nothing from Olympia to Tacoma. Coming down from the north end, we haven't started to see the brake lights through the forced merge in Northgate. Overall, 35 minutes or less to go from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, we are going to see rain throughout the day, headed for a high of 53 today. Overnight low 45. Tomorrow looks pretty much the same as today, and then it looks like we'll get a dry day on Saturday. At least mostly dry, some peaks of sunshine and warming up to 57 on Saturday. Scattered showers return on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, it's 47 degrees. And coming up, Jerry Cornfield from the Washington State Standard breaks down the latest legislation in Olympia this week. This is Seattle's Morning News.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know that 25% of your home's heat loss is through your attic? Hot air rises, and if your attic isn't properly insulated, the hot air is going to rise right through your ceiling, into your attic, and out your roof that's far past its half-life. That sounds cold and expensive. Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. If this sounds like your house, it's time to call Valentine. And right now, Valentine has a great winter special. Bundle attic insulation with any new roof, and you'll save an additional 10% off your entire project. Plus, with Valentine's financing options, they make it easy. No matter what your home needs, insulation, gutters, siding, or a new roof, you are guaranteed the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service, even in winter weather. My home is protected by Valentine. They keep me off the roof, which my wife and kids are extremely grateful for. I trust them to help you too. To lock in your winter bundle savings, call 206 Roofing today. Again, that's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine vans, you know your home is in good hands. 206 Roofing.
Thank you, Dr. Wagner. I have a really bad left hip. In fact, this other doctor's like, well, you're going to have to get a hip replacement. I was like, oh, my God. He goes, how old are you? I told him, well, you're going to have to wait a couple of years because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to both go to heaven together. I was like, well, in the meantime, well, try stretching, aspirin. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm in pain. I can't sleep. I could barely walk. I'd get off a plane and I'm like struggling to even make it down the ramp. I go to see Dr. Wagner. He explains to me how the stem cell procedure works. It's 90 minutes, and I'm telling you right now, I love it. So rather than surgery, make an appointment to see Dr. Wagner. It could be the game changer for you, like it's been for a whole bunch of other people as well. So whether it's your hip or your wrist or your shoulder, your knee, check out Dr. Mark Wagner. I'm telling you right now, stem cell procedure could be the answer for you, as it's been for me. You want to find out more? drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
We continue to churn through all the truncated 60-day legislative session down in Olympia. Lawmakers are making their pushes for all sorts of bills. Let's get the latest update with Jerry Cornfield with the Washington State Standard.
Jerry, good morning. Lots to cover here. We want to start, though, with a bit of a curveball, Charlie.
Yeah, we got a hold of the draft of the income tax proposal in the state legislature. We've been talking about it this morning. We know you've seen it too, Jerry. So what are your impressions of this income tax proposal?
I won't be paying. That's what I figured out after going through all those sections. But, it's really comprehensive. And as you noted, your coverage, there's some sections that are still blank, like the intent. There's this other section that you flagged that, the legislature approved the initiative, a no new taxes initiative that the citizens gathered signatures for a couple of years ago. And they figured out a way to write some language in to work around that. So, there's going to be plenty of pieces to debate when it comes out. There's discussions that it could come out, a bill get filed by the end of this week. So we will see exactly how many of those sections stay in the bill and how many more are added. It's just one of those things that's sucking up a lot of attention or oxygen in the hallways. People are wondering, but it is not going to provide any financial relief to the budget discussions that are happening now. In fact, it won't happen. Even if it became law and wasn't challenged and overturned, it won't bring in any money in this term of the governor's. So it's an interesting,
From what you've seen so far, are there parts of it you think could fly?
Oh, I think most of the bill, given the majority of Democrats in the Senate are really pushing it. The governor wants it. I suspect most of the sections are there. There's probably word wrinkles that need to be ironed out. I think one of the, what I'll be watching is the House. If I had to analyze the politics at this stage, I think the House Democrats are feeling like, look, the Senate is really all over this. They're pushing it. They're driving the process. House Democrats have not, as a caucus, and discussed it in depth. They are on the ballot this year. They need to be able to explain it to their voters and the people, and justify their vote. So the politics, it may be a little tougher to get through in the end, given that there's a lot more folks in the House. They need more time. And if they don't get enough time to debate it, sometimes that's enough to just a bill can lapse.
Jerry, I'd like to maybe give listeners a look behind the scenes, because when we do stories like this, one of the responsible things to do is to reach out to the spokespeople, to the lawmakers, asking them, okay, I've seen this piece of legislation. It's not public yet. Is this real? And so I did that yesterday thinking that I would get no response, right? Well, lawmakers in the House and Senate very quickly got back to me saying, yes, this is the actual draft. You are looking at it. It's still a work in progress. A lot of edits could be made. But then also, when I reached out to the governor's office, they said, no, this isn't the governor's proposal. What do you make of that?
The governor hasn't put anything in writing.
Yeah.
To be clear, the governor has said what he wants, but he has not. He's probably has staff in the room, but he has not written a proposal. He's not requested a bill in writing, as they often do. So it gives him a buffer, right? If what is produced and what is passed doesn't pass muster with him, we'll hear about it. But I think a good example is last year, he wanted $100 million in grant funding to hire more law enforcement. He made a big deal. But by the end, the bill they passed and signed has enough language in it that theoretically all that money could be spent and no law enforcement officers hired. So it's there to be achieved, but it doesn't have to be. And so the income tax may be one of those things where he may not agree with every section, but he'll be able to sign it if it reaches his desk.
So the big story today in Olympia, it sounds like we're going to get a vote on face masks and law enforcement agents not being allowed to wear them. What do we know about this?
Well, the state Senate is scheduled to vote, and it's going to be one of those moments on the floor of the Senate and one of the moments in the session that folks will be talking about this week and maybe throughout the session. I mean, if there are two things going on, one you touched on already, this income tax, and then the other issue is the Democrats in this House and Senate and the governor are really focused on the other Washington and what's happening there. There's a lot of anger, frustration, a desire to send message and take action to sort of wall off this state from some of what's happening in other parts of the country. This is one of those bills. It's unclear if it's legal. California passed a law. It's now being challenged in court. They understand that, but it's unclear. At this moment, ICE is not planning any surge of immigration crackdown, but they could change at any moment. And for Republicans, it's very difficult. They haven't been able to sort of step up and sort of just denounce what they've seen and heard. Clearly, they don't like what's happened in Minnesota, but on the other hand, they really want to focus this session on what happened last session, right? They haven't been able to get their agenda out, which is the Democrats passed billions of dollars in new taxes, and it's affected the cost of living for residents in the state, but they haven't really been able to get any traction on that conversation.
That's Jerry Cornfield with the Washington State Standard. We should mention the face covering bill did move forward, and we'll have more on that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Right now, check on our forecast. It's wet. Rain likely through the day. 53 today. Tomorrow, Friday looks pretty much the same, and then Saturday we'll get a mainly dry day. 57. Back to some showers on Sunday. Right now, it is 47 in Seattle. And coming up, KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey with a Tech Talk, looking at the tech innovation that may have led to the Seahawks Super Bowl appearance. We'll have more on that coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Hey, it's Flo here to say drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
Nice. With my new savings, I'll get some hiking gear. It'll be great for my outdoor era.
I don't know if it counts as an era if you just buy stuff.
I got a cute hiking backpack. It's an outdoor era.
Well, you only bought one thing. I don't think it's an era.
Well, I think we're in a agree to disagree era.
Yeah, sure, you're probably right. Anyway, with the money you could save by switching to Progressive, you can afford to switch to other things in life. It's
my savings era.
Also, everything you do is not an era.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder. Now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about hockey. Don't you love a sport where it's almost fair game to throw off your gloves and bare knuckle it in that gray area? Hockey brings excitement, intensity, passion, often drinking. It's like a party with a puck. If you enjoy too many shots at the bar while watching slap shots on the ice, don't try to make a breakaway because the police won't just stonewall your goal. They're much more likely to throw you in that penalty box. And it won't be just a few minutes to think about what you did. Go ahead, enjoy cracking one open. Just don't overdo it. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com for your free private consultation. Hockey is one of the only sports where you can wrap around the goal and there's no out of bounds. But the roadway is a different story. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! For seniors, the new year is a good time to reassess finances. If you're struggling with bills, our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be a great way to ease your stress.
Seniors tell me all the time, we love our home, we'd love to stay here, but we just can't afford it anymore. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off your debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let your home work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me. Never a sales pitch and never an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage experts, the VA loan and debt consolidation experts too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and the results can last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. Using your own natural hair, Advanced Hair can restore your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning. All backed by Advanced Hair's guarantee. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Cold is leaking and rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. TurboTax helps you get your biggest refund, and then Credit Karma helps you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 5:31. I'm Manda Factor. A small outbreak of measles in Snohomish County has now doubled from 3 to 6 cases. KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas has been following the developments.
That brings the total case count to 6. That is following word of an outbreak just 2 weeks ago. The newest case was confirmed yesterday in a child who was not vaccinated, and there's a chance you were exposed if you were at the Slavic Christian Church in Mukilteo January 18th between 2 and 6 p.m. The health department says the risk to the general public is low because of high vaccination rates in Snohomish County, but they say the next 2 to 3 weeks could be really telling as to where this outbreak is going to go.
A bill that would ban officers from covering their faces while interacting with the public here in Washington has passed the state Senate. Supporters say it's about transparency. Among those voting yes, Democrat Mike Chapman, who helped catch the Millennium Bomber, where he was a customs inspector.
He made a run for it, and he knew exactly who was in pursuit.
And he says that's one of the reasons that arrest was made safely. Republican Phil Fortunato, though, voted no, saying ICE agents and their families have been threatened, and that's why they've been wearing those masks.
This wasn't brought on by them. This was brought on by the people that are currently going against them and rioting.
The bill passed the Senate 30-19. And it's the talk of the town in Seattle.
It's not good. Yeah. You can't do anything about it. I mean, it's going to impact everybody.
Confirmation of those 16,000 jobs we told you about being cut at Amazon. We still don't have confirmation which teams will be affected or how many of the layoffs will hit Washington. But Luce, who owns Evergreen Sandwich Shop near Amazon headquarters, says any way you slice it, layoffs will have a ripple effect.
I just hired not too long ago because we were so busy, but it might affect like the hours. Everybody might get less hours if it gets slow.
Yesterday, Amazon also issued notices of 400 layoffs related to the closures of its Amazon Go and Amazon Fresh stores. And Seahawks fans want to fly a huge 12 flag over the Golden Gate Bridge before the Super Bowl. The idea comes from Tansy Allen on her GoFundMe page. She says it costs $3,000 for the flag, another $3,000 for the pilot. It's the same pilot who flew the 12 after the Super Bowl 48 win. 5:33, let's check traffic now. Chris Sullivan has his eyes on the roads.
And it looks like we might have the HOV lane blocked on northbound I-5 just north of the West Seattle Bridge because we come to an all-stop there, and I do see the red X on that line. So plan on some delays as you work your way past the West Seattle Bridge. We've got about a 40-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle. 40 as well to go from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is only 15. Coming down from the north end, we haven't started to bog down yet, so we're looking at 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Down in the Tacoma area, South Tacoma, looks like we have a crash right near 56th as well. So that's causing a little bit of a backup. I'll have more for you on that one in our next traffic report. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
It is wet. We're going to see rain at times throughout the day. Should be a little bit lighter in the afternoon, just showers. 53-hour high. Tomorrow looks the same, maybe a little bit wetter. Rainfall near 1/4 inch for tomorrow. And then Saturday, a little break from the rain. We'll see some peaks of sunshine in 57, but showers return on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy, a little bit drizzly in spots, and 47 degrees.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News. Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's morning news.
It's now 5:35. Good morning to you. In this week's Tech Talk, during the NFC Championship game Sunday, a single play almost led to doom for the Seahawks late in the game. Until KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports a combination of good refereeing and technology helped send the Hawks to the Super Bowl.
One of the biggest moments in the Seahawks win Sunday didn't come from a touchdown, it came from technology. Late in the fourth quarter, Seattle leading by 4. Cooper Kupp caught a short pass on 3rd down with just over 3 minutes left.
Time throws it over the middle. Cooper Kupp makes the catch, reaches out. Ball came out, but he was down on the ground.
He stretched for the line to gain. He hit the ground, and the ball came loose. To start out,
this is a huge play.
As Football First's Kevin Kennedy explains, the referees determined Kupp was tackled, down by contact, and didn't fumble the ball because
he catches the ball, he takes 2 steps.
Meaning he had possession of the football and made a football move.
Therefore, when he hits the ground cannot cause a fumble, so he is down upon impact.
However, what came next was another call that didn't just come down to the naked eye. Instead, it was
so close. Really close.
To get a first down, just a millimeter of the ball needed to cross the line to gain. And this is where technology helped save the day. As we told you in last week's Tech Talk, the NFL is now using new technology called the Hawkeye Smart Replay System, aptly named, that pulls together every broadcast camera angle and 6 8K NFL cameras all at once to make quicker and more accurate calls, just like Tom Brady said on the play-by-play.
Oh, there'll be a good look at that one, too.
Crews at Lumen Field and in New York analyzed and measured the exact placement of the ball faster than ever before. And at the end of this pivotal 3rd down play in the Seahawks' most important game in more than a decade.
Ruling on the field as the runner was down by contact, and it's a first down.
Oh, so they say first down.
Wow.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Ah, stuff it, Tom Brady. I mean, he is a former New England Patriot. So, what did Kupp have to say after the game?
Yeah, you never reach on 3rd down.
And by reaching out, he kind of committed a cardinal sin in football.
You reach for it on 3rd down, you fumble, that opportunity's gone now. You've eliminated the chance for anything on 4th down, and so that's why you don't do it on 3rd, but it worked out.
Sometimes the game comes down to inches.
It is a first down. Oh, against his former team. Cooper Kupp makes what might be one of the plays of the game right there.
Sometimes it comes down to the tech that measures them.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey. Well, the Seahawks revealed a new injury concern 11 days ahead of the return to the Super Bowl. Linebacker Ernest Jones IV, key member of Seattle's dark side defense, was listed on the team's injury report for Wednesday with a chest injury. The 26-year-old tied for 2nd in the NFL in the regular season with 5 interceptions in 15 games. He also tied for 18th in the league with 126 total tackles. Seattle had 9 players listed as limited, including quarterback Sam Darnold with the oblique injury he's been dealing with throughout the playoffs. Preparations well underway at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, ahead of the Super Bowl. National Football League field director Nick Pappas says a new plane service is one piece of his to-do list ahead of the rematch between the Patriots and the Seahawks. He says field time will be even harder to get next week when the guests start to arrive.
We'll bring down halftime rehearsals, pregame player intro rehearsals, pregame and postgame ceremony rehearsals, things like that. Obviously trying to figure out the appropriate schedule and calendar as we get into Sunday.
Game time, 3:30 Sunday. You'll hear all the action here on KIRO News Radio. And the voice of the Mariners offering a tearful farewell ahead of the final season in the broadcast booth. Rick Riz spoke to reporters yesterday saying it's been an incredible ride.
You know, you get to a certain point where you're not that little kid, you know, watching the games on TV.
He spent 51 years calling professional baseball, 40 of them right here in Seattle. It's 5:39. We'll get to national headlines coming up here on Seattle's Morning News.
What's my voice sound? Pretty good?
Better than I thought it would.
The John Curley Show.
I was really trying to work with my diaphragm.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I was screaming as everybody else was screaming, and all of a sudden the muscles in my neck tightened up and it shut off blood in my head. I thought I almost passed out. I was so close.
What if you died?
Well, I would have been paying no attention to me. Like, get up, Dad.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Well, I'm sure by now you've heard interviews with a whole lot of people who took the First Mark Challenge and saved so much money on their insurance and got better coverage too. We call them First Mark victories. Well, I took the First Mark Challenge too, and I'm thrilled to say that First Mark is saving us thousands. Now, that's what I call a victory. You know, I was with the same agent for so long, I simply assumed they were working hard to get me the best coverage and save me money. But it wasn't the case. And you should find out too by taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge. First Mark works for you, not the insurance carriers. First Mark will fully analyze your current coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage, which could leave you at risk for financial loss. Then they carefully search the market, dozens of major carriers to find you the best fit, and that's it. First Mark Insurance has helped thousands of families successfully manage the complicated world of insurance and save them thousands, me included. Be the next First Mark Challenge victory. Take the First Mark Challenge right now. It's totally free. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
CBS News Brief. Video shows Alex Pretty confronted ICE agents 2 weeks before he was shot and killed in Minneapolis. CBS's Jared Hill.
It's not clear what happened before cameras started rolling. Pretty's family says the nurse was injured, but he did not seek medical attention.
FBI agents have executed a search at an election facility in Fulton County, Georgia. County Board of Commissioners Chairman Robert Pitt.
That election has been reviewed, it's been audited, and in every case, every instance, we get a clean bill of health.
Officials in Mississippi are dealing with a slow-moving disaster. Hundreds of thousands of customers have no heat or electricity after an ice storm over the weekend, and it may be days before power is restored. Oxford Mayor Robin Tannehill.
We're giving it all we've got every day to try to get everybody's services restored. It literally looks like a tornado has gone down every street in our community, and it's been devastating.
CBS News Brief. I'm Christopher Cruz.
A check on our forecast. You are going to get wet today. Rain likely. Tomorrow we might see up to a quarter inch of rain. Highs both days right around 52. Break in the rain for Saturday, mainly dry and warming up to 57 Sunday. Showers are back. Looks like we'll see some showers heading into next week too. It's 47 in Seattle right now, and it's 5:44. Chris Sullivan, in early this morning, you have a choke point coming up.
Yeah, I do. It's kind of interesting when an emergency isn't really an emergency, but it really is.
I'm confused already.
You should be, and a little town near Mount Rainier is really feeling it.
All right, we'll explain coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
83 or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
83 or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
Draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
83 or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
83 or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com. I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
It's now 5:47. So when a truck hits and damages a bridge or a landslide takes out a road, those are emergencies that qualify for extra money, grants, and faster response times. When your bridge is shut down by neglect and a failure of lawmakers in Olympia, that's not an emergency, and you're on your own. Sully, a.k.a. The Conduit, is here with more.
When a truck took out the Bullfrog overpass on westbound I-90, it took only months to get it replaced. When a truck damaged the White River Bridge, repairs only took months, and businesses in Buckley and Enumclaw qualified for emergency loans. It turns out there are emergencies, and then there are emergencies. Not are all treated the same. Ask Wilkeson Mayor Jamie Pololi. Her city's lifeline, the Fairfax Bridge over the Carbon River, which connects her town to Mount Rainier, was shut down last year, and everything stopped.
When that access disappeared, it did not create an inconvenience. It actually severed the system that sustains us. Visitor traffic stopped overnight. Businesses lost their customer base immediately. Seasonal employment disappeared. Emergency routing became constrained, and a nationally significant gateway to Mount Rainier National Park was effectively removed from the map.
But Wilkeson isn't eligible for emergency funding or expedited repairs. The reason? The closure was caused by an intentional lack of funding for maintenance and preservation that led to the steel being too bad to keep it open. For decades, the steel got worse, and the legislature failed to fund the work. The bridge was load restricted 3 times before it finally closed last April. Turns out that willful neglect is not an emergency. There are no grants coming for the businesses to stay open. There is no fast-tracking work to repair or replace the bridge. Mayor Pololi went to the legislature this week to highlight the absurdity of the situation.
What Wilkeson is facing is not routine infrastructure failure. It is a systematic gap. That state has no emergency designation pathway for long neglected infrastructure, no stabilization mechanism when access is severed, and no coordinated economic mitigation framework for a gateway community.
And while the Washington Department of Transportation moved quickly to fix the Bullfrog overpass and the White River Bridge, it could be 6 years before the Fairfax Bridge is rebuilt, if it's rebuilt at all. There are only two options on the table: spend at least $160 million to build a new bridge just north of the existing one, or simply remove the damaged bridge and leave the community with nothing. WashDOT Steve Rourke explained the realities to the mayor and legislature this week.
Since it's not a repair, like an emergency slide or something like that, and it's a new bridge on a new alignment, there's no contract to let. There's no advantage at this point to declaring an emergency.
No way to speed up 18 months of study, another 2 years of environmental and engineering work, and another 2+ years of construction. And meanwhile, Wilkeson and other small communities on that corridor are left to fend for themselves. And considering how many state bridges are in bad shape after years of willful neglect, Mayor Paloli has this to say.
We're not asking for special treatment. We are asking for the level of response that this situation warrants. One that restores access, protects public safety, and recognizes that communities cannot be left to absorb the consequences of state-owned infrastructure failure alone. Wilkeson is not the exception. Wilkeson is the warning.
There are several bills in the legislature to help out these communities. One would allow WashDOT to waive red tape to try to get at this faster. The other would eliminate business and occupation taxes and eliminate property taxes in the affected area this year. But it looks like relief will not be coming anytime soon.
You said 6 years, if at all?
Yes, 6 years, if at all, because they have to build a brand new bridge and a brand new alignment. So, ironically, if a truck had taken out the Fairfax Bridge, it would be an emergency. But 20, 25, 30 years of neglect from Olympia and the bridge fails, that's not an emergency.
It's such a beautiful old bridge.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope they rebuild it, but those poor people in Wilkeson.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do?
And Carbonado and those they basically have no economic engine now whatsoever because no one's going through to get to Mount Rainier National Park or up to Moich Lake where we went as Boy Scouts up there. It's beautiful up there. So, yeah, it's very ironic that that neglect doesn't count as an emergency, and that poor town and those folks there are left holding the bag.
All right. This up on My Northwest yet?
Yes, you better believe it is.
All right. Thank you very much. A new study suggests the driving habits of older adults can reveal early warning signs of dementia. We get more from CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace.
Researchers tracked the driving habits of hundreds of drivers ages 65 and older for several years. Those who started braking harder or getting in accidents were more likely to develop white matter damage in the back of the brain, an early warning sign of cognitive decline. Study co-author Chaling Pua.
The way that older adults drive can quietly reflect what's happening in their brain long before any major memory problems appear.
The study also found drivers who were taking blood pressure medications were less likely to show unsafe driving behaviors. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
U.S. life expectancy is at an all-time high, or was in 2024.
It's 79 years, according to numbers just out from the CDC, and it's the highest ever. CDC's National Center for Health Statistics cites the drop in COVID-19 infections and also lower death rates from heart disease, cancer, and drug overdoses. Heart disease remains the nation's leading cause of death, even as its fatality rate dropped 3% for the second year in a row, attributed to better medical treatment and weight management. Despite some good news here, the U.S. still ranks below dozens of other countries for longevity. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
Well, we're talking about matters of the heart just ahead of Valentine's Day. Some new details about the heart health gender gap. Here's CBS's Michael George.
Men tend to develop heart disease 10 years earlier than women. A study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association shows that this heart health gender gap has existed for decades and still continues today. Researchers say patients should be assessed for heart attack risk in young adulthood so prevention strategies can be implemented.
Borders are Tom Homan this morning holding his first press conference after taking over immigration and customs enforcement operations in Minneapolis. He is still speaking right now. So far, he says ICE will continue law enforcement operations, but...
First thing I said to senior staff when I walked in here is what I told you. I didn't come here looking for photo ops or headlines. I come here looking for solutions. I do not want to hear that everything's been done here has been perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. Anything can be improved on. And what we've been working on is making this operation safer, more efficient, by the book.
He says staff are working on a drawdown plan. Again, he is still speaking, and CBS will have more coming up at 6 o'clock. A big cargo ship turned some heads as it approached the port of Tacoma over the last week. Green and red shipping containers had been arranged to spell Renee. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery has more.
Speculation exploded online that it was a tribute to Renee Good, a U.S. citizen shot and killed in a confrontation with federal agents in Minneapolis. But the Tacoma News Tribune investigated, and they found out it was actually a birthday message to a Renee Carmona. She tells the News Tribune her boyfriend arranged it when the ship left Long Beach, California, and he's done it before. The containers have now been rearranged to erase that message. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
It's 5:54, and to check on your forecast, it's going to be wet for the next couple of days. We'll see rain at times, more so tomorrow. We're looking for up to a quarter inch of rain tomorrow, but highs will be in the low 50s both days. Saturday, mainly dry. Nice day to be out and about. Scattered showers return on Sunday. Looks like we'll see showers as we head into next week as well. Right now in Seattle, it is mostly cloudy. We do have a little bit of drizzle. It's 47 degrees at the moment. I'm Manda Factor. Glad to have you with us for Seattle's morning news. Coming up, CBS military analyst Jeff McCausland breaks down the latest U.S. action in Iran. I want you to know our inbox is always open for your news, tips, and story ideas at mynorthwest.com. And you can always contact the show by texting us. It's the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. That is 888-973-5476. Again, thanks for making us part of your day at Seattle's Morning News here on KIRO News Radio. It's 5:55.
The G and Ursula Show.
Seattle is at the top of another list.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
We are officially the most expensive city to host a Super Bowl party. As it gets more and more expensive, do you do things like, hey,
potlucks are fun. Yeah, that's normal. I have friends that'll come over and they'll bring something. Yeah. And I also got those friends that either bring paper plates or ice. Cornelius, I have him bring ice. He's a great ice guy.
On KIRO News Radio and the KIRO News Radio app. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
What a good move I made. Let me tell you a quick story. I've done a whole bunch of races and a bunch of other stuff like that, and my left hip started bothering me about 5 years ago. And I go to the doctor, and he's like, you need a hip replacement. I was like, I'm 60. Yeah, we're going to ask you to wait a little while because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to go into the grave at the same time. I said, what do you do about all this pain? Well, you could, aspirin, and you could continue to do this and that and, sleep with a pillow between your legs. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. Then I was talking to Bob Stelton over there at the sports department. So he went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I think he had his hip done as well. So I go in there. I said to Dr. Wagner, can you fix my hip? Takes a look at the MRI. Yes. So I got the stem cell procedure. I'm telling you something. This is the best. If you've been thinking about, surgery for your knee, your wrist, your shoulder, or hip. No. Check out Dr. Mark Wagner and go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Big tax changes this year could mean a bigger refund, and Jackson Hewitt knows how to get you your biggest. You'll get $100 just to try us. That won't make you filthy rich, but definitely gas plus groceries rich. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back, which would make you low-key loaded. Or at least wealthy adjacent? Go with our trusted pros and get $100 to switch. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory is a little different. We actually reach out to the small business world, to Joel Taylor and Sean O'Donnell from Sean O'Donnell's Restaurants. Sean, when Joel brought this to you, the idea of why don't we take this First Mark Challenge victory, what was your thought?
My goal was to save some money and to simplify our operations. We've got 6 locations now, and along with that comes complications. And when things get complicated, things that are important get forgotten. First Mark was able to simplify that and also save us money.
Not only have they saved us money, they helped us identify some blind spots in our policies. Their service team has been phenomenal, unparalleled in my experience, given us a lot more solutions with better coverage, and just made too much sense.
First Mark's just made it easy for us.
So if you're a business owner and your insurance is in need of simplifying and streamlining and eliminate the stress, do what Sean O'Donnell's Restaurants did. Reach out to First Mark Insurance. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance, your teammate in the business world too. going to work for you.
New year, new you. Have you thought about how your finances might change in 2026? Free checking from WaFd Bank is the way to go. With no minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about, you get spending tools and the latest technology to help you stay on your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank a best bank, you'll also get useful tools like voice-activated banking, so you can check your balances and make transfers between your accounts when your hands are full. Visit wafdbank.com to open your account. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
Take the next step to becoming a Seahawks season ticket holder. Join the season ticket holder notification list to secure your spot in line. By signing up, you'll be the first to know when space becomes available on the official Blue Pride waitlist. Plus, receive team news, special ticket offers, and more. Visit Seahawks.com/season tickets to sign up today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Christopher Cruz. President Trump's borders czar Tom Homan says his main focus is going to be drawing down the number of federal agents in Minnesota. He told reporters in Minneapolis he's in the state for the long haul.
I'm staying till the problem's gone. But we've made a lot of progress.
But Homan said he won't allow protesters to stop ICE officers from making arrests.
There will be zero tolerance. You interfere, impede, assault ICE officers, you will be arrested.
Homan said he's had discussions with a number of elected officials since his arrival, and all agreed that the safety of the community is paramount. Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar is running for governor of Minnesota.
Minnesota, we've been through a lot.
The four-term senator made her announcement on social media, vowing to take on the Trump administration.
These times call for leaders who can stand up and not be rubber stamps of this administration, but who are also willing to find common ground and fix things in our state.
Current Governor Tim Walz dropped his bid for a third term earlier this month. Klobuchar gives Democrats a high-profile candidate as they try to keep the office in their hands. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Despite their differences, Republicans and Democrats may be close to an agreement to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Here's CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
Both sides are inching towards a potential deal to essentially take out DHS funding separately from all the other funding bills that they have to pass in order to avert a partial government shutdown and pass a short-term measure for the Department of Homeland Security.
The former Deputy Sheriff Sean Grayson will be sentenced today on second-degree murder charges. He shot and killed Sonia Massey in 2024. CBS's Karen Hua reports from Springfield, Illinois.
We know that supporters of the Massey family will be rallying outside the courthouse before the sentencing, and also several family members on both sides could read impact statements in court. There's even a chance Grayson himself could speak, since he also testified at his own trial.
Grayson could get up to 20 years in prison. Tesla CEO Elon Musk says the company will stop making two popular car models. He said the factory in California will be converted to making the company's Optimus humanoid robots.
We're going to take the Model S and X production space in our Fremont factory and convert that into an Optimus factory, which will, with the long-term goal of having 1 million units a year of Optimus robots.
The Labor Department says applications for unemployment benefits fell modestly to 209,000 last week. Less than half an hour before the open, futures are up fractionally. This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The second It's 6:03. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic.
And we're already in the weeds this morning. We've had a couple of different crashes to get in our way. The first one, not in a very good spot. Southbound I-5, right at the forced merge in Northgate. The left lane is blocked, and we're backed up all the way into Shoreline already. So we're already up to about an hour to make the drive from Everett into Seattle. So behind schedule this early by about 30 minutes, 25 at least. 405 hasn't gotten into the act as of yet, so it's still about 35 minutes from end to end. Northbound I-5, we've been struggling with a crash in the HOV lane just north of the West Seattle Bridge. We've got about a 50-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle, with 30 of those minutes from South Center, so behind schedule there by about 10. Also been working this crash on northbound I-5 in South Tacoma, right at 56th. It's been blocking a couple of left lanes. You're going to need about 45 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma. Tacoma. The Valley Freeway, not bad at about 40 minutes. Renton to Bellevue is running right around 15. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save $600 off windows, $1,500 off doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months, same as cash financing. Don't wait to visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:04. If you're listening right now, you may know the pain of commuting through the middle of WashDOT's Revive I-5 project.
Yeah, the project is drawing backlash as express lanes remain northbound only for the next year across the Ship Canal Bridge construction. Yesterday on the Jake and Spike show right here on 97.3, they put Department of Transportation to the screws.
And KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more. Luke?
Yeah, chances are you've heard Sully play this during his traffic reports every single morning. That's because, just like the movie Groundhog Day, day after day after day, that construction on the Ship Canal Bridge has been causing huge backups along I-5 south into Seattle and Bellevue. The issue is because there are only 2 lanes open heading northbound across the bridge, WashDOT is keeping all the northbound express lanes open, and they're closing all southbound express lanes and keeping them closed. For instance, Everett to Seattle and Bellevue has been running about an hour to 30 to 40 minutes around there later than what it usually is. Yesterday on the Jake and Spike show, WashDOT's Tom Pierce and Mike Squires explained they have to inspect, repair, and repave the bridge.
We've got this huge project that we've got to get done.
And it's going to last this year and into next year as well.
Yeah, we are seeing delays coming out of the north end. It's pretty obvious what drivers are experiencing, and we know it's a challenge for folks that are dealing with that. It takes several weeks for an impact like this, a roadway closure and change in operations, to kind of fade out and people to adjust.
So the first big question put to WashDOT by Jake was this.
Can't we open those lanes up just as they do traditionally outside of road work times? Can't we open those lanes up?
And this was WashDOT's explanation.
If we didn't have a way to maintain throughput and capacity on the roadway system, anytime we had a collision occur, for instance, the northbound I-5, all of northbound would basically be shut down until we're able to clear that crash.
So another remedy, perhaps, Spike mentioned on the show, can they get rid of tolling on 405 and 99 for a while for the next 2 years so people can find that alternate route, maybe not have to pay for it?
The State Tolling Commission sets the tolls. WSDOT doesn't control those.
Yeah, but you have their number and we don't. Can you call them and see if they consider it?
Guys,
we can certainly mention it.
So we got the answers. You may not like the answers. Some may like the answers. Bottom line, though, is the work needs to be done. Everyone knows that. But WashDOT seems to be saying that they're seeing backups, but not as bad as people think, including Sully. They say, Sully, and I'm looking at you, they don't see the same backups that you do. We're going to have that coming up in the next hour.
All right, Luke, thank you. 6:07 now. Pay your tabs or else. That's the idea behind a bill proposed in the state legislature, which would penalize drivers for not renewing their registration.
We think that there are millions of dollars out there that are not being collected, which is not fair to everyone else that pays these car tabs.
KIRO 7 TV reports the minimum fines could go up to $242 if you're stopped with a registration that's been expired more than 2 months. Parked and unoccupied cars could be ticketed as well.
A terrible scene in the town of Vaughan on the Key Peninsula as a man returned home to find everyone dead. We get more from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Pierce County deputies were called to the home in Vaughan just before 1:30 Tuesday afternoon. The man returned home from work and found his wife, adult son, and the family dog shot to death in a bedroom. Investigators say the son was struggling with mental health and addiction issues, and although unconfirmed, murder-suicide is suspected. Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto.
We are not looking for any suspects. Everybody is contained to this scene. The husband has been very cooperative.
And Deputy Capetto says a handgun was found near the bodies. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The blood supply in the Pacific Northwest is critically low, and BloodWorks Northwest is urging everyone to donate if they can. Juan Cotto says BloodWorks only has a 1 to 2 day supply, and 5 to 7 days is optimal.
If just a small percentage of eligible people step up, we can fix this relatively quickly.
Cotto says they need a couple thousand donors in the next week to return the supply to a healthy level. If you want to help, go to bloodworksnw.org.
keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
It's Friday Eve.
It is. It's Blue Thursday.
Okay, Blue Friday Eve? Okay, I'll workshop that. Good morning. It's January 29th. Charlie and Manda here with you this morning. Sully is over there checking traffic on the threes. We have producer David Burbank in the studio with us. Jillian Raftery is out in the newsroom keeping on top of the day's top stories. And Nick Krasia is picking the music today.
The whole gang is here. And this hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
On the way, we're going to speak with CBS military analyst Jeff McCausland. He's going to break down the latest threats from the Trump administration against Iran. We have escalating tensions in the Middle East again.
And Luke Ducey has Tech Talk, how some new NFL technology may have helped solidify the Seahawks trip to the Super Bowl.
It's 6:10 now. A bill that would limit when police officers can cover their faces while interacting with the public has passed the Washington State Senate.
The bill requires law enforcement officers to be clearly identifiable and generally prohibits them from wearing opaque facial coverings while on duty. Democrat Yasmin Trudeau voted yes.
In America and in Washington State, we will not accept secret police.
Republican Phil Fortunato voted no. He says ICE agents and their families have been threatened.
That's why they're wearing masks. They're not wearing masks because they're secret police.
Senate Bill 5855 passed by a vote of 30-19. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Well, the NFL GOAT has been talking highly of the Seahawks ahead of Super Bowl 60.
There's no doubt to me the best team in the NFC is playing in the Super Bowl. That's for sure.
Former New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady joined the Brock and Salk show yesterday on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. Brady gave Seahawks coach Mike Macdonald and GM John Schneider a lot of credit for the team's success.
You know, Coach Macdonald, again, he's so young in his coaching career, but he's had tremendous success in a short period of time. And I give John a ton of credit for, he's just an incredible executive, how he's turned over the roster and maintained the culture. There's just been so much success over time. So, again, just it all starts at the top and trying to do the right things every day in order to be successful. And Seattle's done an incredible job of that.
This might be the first time I appreciate hearing from Tom Brady. Coach McDonald, of course, up for NFL Coach of the Year award. John Schneider won this season's Executive of the Year. Will continue to have coverage ahead of Super Bowl 60 throughout this week and next.
Well, it was cold earlier this week, but I didn't believe anything had frozen over. Evidently, it has. All right. Over to Rick Briz, the voice of the Mariners, is calling it a career. Rick spoke with reporters yesterday. It was a day after he announced that this season will be his last.
It's been a great journey. Let's go win the whole doggone thing. Thank you, guys.
Says baseball is like theater, except in baseball there's no script. Rick has been the voice of the M's for more than 40 years.
It'll be so strange to get used to the games without him. 6:12, let's talk about the weather. Quite wet around the area this morning. We check in with KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning. Right now we have a nice morning of rain and mild weather. If you're in the mood for rain, it's a nice morning. It's a little blustery as well. We've had some windy weather out at the coast and breezy spots overall. This rain we have now will taper a little as the morning goes on, but overall you can expect to just find wet weather for the morning drive and then a slight lull in precipitation into the early afternoon before another system comes through this evening. So if you add it all up, it just really will mean some rain for most of the day. Highs will go from the upper 40s now. In fact, a lot of us have been hanging around the upper 40s. Your normal high temperature today is 49, and we've been at like 47. So we're pretty close to that already. We're going to finish up at about 53, which means rising snow levels and, upwards of 6,000 feet or so, and it stays warm for a while because tomorrow we start dry. We should be dry for your Friday morning commute, but rain increases during the day, and then we'll have in the low to mid 50s for highs. We see just a couple of showers on Saturday. Saturday is more dry than wet. It really is. But Sunday we see increasing showers. Both days are mild, mid to upper 50s. And next week will be drier to start at least through Wednesday, also in the mid to upper 50s. And really, if you look at the next 10 days, every day above average temperatures by at least a few degrees.
All right, Nick, thank you. Right now it's 47 in Seattle.
All right, 6:13 traffic on the threes with our above average traffic reporter, Chris Sullivan.
Thank you very much, Charlie. We are running above average bridge in a big way on southbound I-5, trying to get down into the Northgate area. Today, it's not as much as the forced merge as it is. There's a crash right before the forced merge there with the loss of the express lanes in Northgate. HOV lane is blocked right as you get up to that forced merge. So we're already up to an hour from Everett to Seattle. 40 of those minutes are from Linwood. Looking at Everett to Bellevue at 45 minutes with 25 of those minutes from Linwood, so you can see the difference there. Northbound I-5 continues to struggle into downtown. We have a crash in the HOV lane just before you get to I-90, and we're looking at 45 to 50 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. Also have a crash in the left lane on northbound I-5 in South Tacoma, right around 56th. Give yourself about 45 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma, about 10 minutes worth of a delay there. Puyallup to Renton, really heavy out of Auburn today, so we've got about a 45-minute trip for you, and we're not quite 20 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It is 6:15. President Trump is weighing a major news strike on Iran this week as the U.S. Armada arrives in Iran.
This as discussions between the two nations have stalled out this week surrounding Iran's nuclear programs. Let's get the latest from CBS military analyst Jeff McCausland. Jeff, good morning. What do we know about these nuclear talks?
Well, we know there have been efforts by several countries in the region, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, to reestablish these talks between the United States and Iran. It does appear, however, that demands of the Trump administration have increased, and they're now talking about not only limiting the nuclear program, but actually ending enrichment would have to be acceptable to the Iranians, disposal of all the enriched material that they still have in stock, and limitations on their ballistic missile production programs in terms of range and numbers, and finally ending support for their proxies in the region, Hezbollah, Iranian or Iraqi groups and the like. And that may be too much of a bitter pill for the revolutionary government of Iran to swallow.
President Trump is saying the next U.S. attack on the country would be far worse than the last airstrikes. What do you think that would look like?
Well, I think what it looked like is probably a more varied strike. Obviously, it was very focused back in June to go after the nuclear facilities, and we used heavy bombers to do this. This time, I think it would be likely more fighter bomber aircraft, more surgical, going after command and control nodes, going after the bases for particularly the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, which really is the enforcement of the regime's power, perhaps after key leaders. There could be an effort to go after Iranian energy supplies and energy stocks to further strangle the country economically.
It had seemed last, 2 weeks ago, when tensions were ratcheting up, it had seemed at that time there was the potential of strikes, then things cooled down. Now here we are heated up again. Are you any more confident this time around that there could be some sort of action between our two nations?
Well, it does appear that a high likelihood, frankly, of some type of action. I think the effort 2 weeks ago was stymied because of the absence of an aircraft carrier in the region, because many of the countries in the region, Saudi Arabia, most notably United Arab Emirates and others, have said they would not allow their airspace to be involved. And furthermore, at the time, we only had a few destroyers in the Arabian Sea. They could launch Tomahawk cruise missiles, but for a sustained campaign like I think they are envisioning, you need an aircraft carrier. And so we had to, because we've moved the Gerald Ford to the Caribbean because of the Venezuelan crisis, we had to wait until the arrival of the Abraham Lincoln coming out of the South China Sea. Now that is in position, accompanied by destroyers with cruise missile, of course, and therefore we have the firepower in the region to conduct the kind of operation I believe the Pentagon envisions.
What's the danger of opening these violent exchanges between the U.S. and the Middle East?
Well, the people in the region, most notably the Saudis, some degree the Israelis, are concerned that Iran may well lash back, which I think is very likely. And they've said they'll strike those countries in the region that support the United States. So you can see a widening regional conflict that might involve several of the countries. Saudis, for example, remember very vividly the 2019 attack by Iran against the Aramco oil facilities. So they realize, because of the nature of their economies, how vulnerable they are. Furthermore, within Iran, you could see a dissolution of order and end up with something like Syria in the aftermath, and a civil war that goes on for some period of time, because as the government is more and more weakened, you may have not only internal social unrest, but also violence between many ethnic groups. Iran, in many ways, is an empire. You've got Baluch in the south and the east. You've got Kurds in the north. You've got Azeris, which are large populations that might see, the regime going down as an opportunity for them to assert, some degree of sovereignty for their ethnic group.
What are the scenarios here then? I am curious your analysis on a best case scenario. You mentioned one scenario, but what is the worst case scenario here, Jeff?
Well, I think the worst case scenario would be a regional conflict in which they strike out against energy supplies in Saudi Arabia, perhaps the United Arab Emirates. We know the Iranians have practiced naval asymmetric warfare, whereby they could perhaps rapidly mine the Straits of Hormuz. And about 20 to 25% of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas comes out through that particular strait, causing widespread global economic repercussions.
Speaking with CBS military analyst Jeff McCausland, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio sat in front of a Senate Foreign Relations Committee yesterday to defend the Trump administration's actions against Venezuela and its captured leader, Nicolas Maduro. What did we learn from that testimony?
Well, we learned that this is a very complex thing, and now we're trying to figure out how we manage this particular country that we're now governing. So there's real questions about how much oil is allowed to be exported, where the money from that oil goes. And apparently the Venezuelans are going to present their budget on a monthly basis for U.S. approval. Furthermore, there seems to be not very little to no talk about Venezuela moving in any direction of a democratic regime. And it seems right now, at least, the Trump administration is very comfortable with working with the government led now by Vice President, now President-designate Dulce Rodriguez, who really was subordinate to Maduro. And so we've taken out Maduro, but a large portion of that regime, in fact, most of that regime is still intact. And it seems our willingness to work with them through this period of transition, however that long that might be, and that might be a long period of time. And then finally, there are reports the United States may reopen the embassy in Venezuela, which would allow us to more direct access to what's going on in terms of coordinating those economic decisions. And there's been talk of expanded CIA presence in Venezuela, which would not be unlikely if you open the embassy. They could also monitor using intelligence on what actually is going on.
One of the most eye-opening things that happened in that operation to capture Maduro was the revelation that the United States used a sonic device of some kind that caused Havana syndrome, which had been denied by the government in the past. Was that a surprise to you that we used it, and where do things go from there?
Yeah, I think it demonstrates clearly the expansion of weaponry, as available. Not only do we see drones, the Ukrainians now using ground robotics, for example. We'll see more of that. The use of the sonic weapons seem to be very focused, particularly on the raid into the stronghold where Maduro was to pick him up. A widespread cyber attack that occurred against the entirety of Caracas prior to the aircraft going in there, which basically not only put the city black with no electricity, but shut down all the air defense radars and allowed those incoming aircraft and helicopters to come in without much opposition.
Jeff, we appreciate you sharing your expertise. As always, CBS military analyst Jeff McCausland.
And we should probably check in with Sully here. We have a heavy commute already early on a Thursday morning. Sully?
We do? What are you talking about? It's rough. But some positive news, and I'll start with that. The crash that has created about the 10-minute delay getting into South Tacoma has just cleared. All lanes are open on northbound I-5 right around 56th. So that's great. Still 45 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma, but I'm hoping that will dissipate. Everything's kind of moved over to the right shoulder there. So that's the positive. Now to the negative. Northbound I-5 getting into downtown Seattle. We still have the HOV lane blocked just north of the West Seattle Bridge, and we've got about a 45 to 50-minute trip already from Federal Way to Seattle. The backup there is about 9 minutes, so not a lot of love there. Coming down from the north end through the Forest Merge on the southbound I-5, where we continue to work with this crash getting into Northgate before we lose the express lanes. The HOV lane there is blocked, so we're seeing off and on braking from about the Nile Golf Course in the Edmonds exit all the way down. You're going to need about an hour from Everett to Seattle, 40 of those minutes from Linwood. We're going to see a little bit more action away from Linwood on 405, which we've gotten used to. It's up to about 45 to 50 minutes now from Everett to Bellevue, so already behind schedule there. And I'm looking for a crash on northbound 405 at the Maple Valley Highway 169 there in Renton. The S-curves have gotten active really quickly. I'll have more for you on that one in 10 minutes. The Valley Freeway running 45 from end to end. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
We're going to see a lot of rain over the next couple of days. Highs into the low 50s, possibly up to a quarter inch of rain tomorrow. And And then we'll take a little break on Saturday. Might see a few lingering showers. Otherwise, mainly dry Saturday. Back to the showers on Sunday. Highs in the mid to upper 50s through the weekend. Right now in Seattle, it's 47 degrees.
And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey on the road to Santa Clara, now just 10 days away from Super Bowl 60.
Also, your opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News.
The G and Ursula Show.
We going to the Super Bowl.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
I have been told about Woodstock and how it was just peace, love, and hair grease. That was the energy amongst Seahawk fans everywhere.
People were doubting Sam Darnold. He had the game of his lifetime.
At the game of his life. He won 14 games with the Minnesota Vikings last season, and he won 14 games with the Seahawks this season.
Subscribe to the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel and watch live.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show, the Big Seattle Boat Show.
The Big Seattle Boat Show starts this Friday. It's the best time to buy with big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle. Make it a date Friday evenings with Boat Show After Dark, featuring unforgettable ambiance, music, food, beer, and wine. Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there. It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity, imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know the key to a long-lasting roof is yearly maintenance. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? You can trust Guardian's licensed, insured, and expertly trained team. We offer free estimates, second opinions, and financing, giving you the peace of mind your home deserves. Call today. Our first-time customers can save $99 on our award-winning roof repair and cleaning service. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's no championship league for small business owners. But if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at Lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
The Tacoma Home and Garden Show, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, January 29th through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For info and discount tickets, go to tacomahomeandgardenshow.com.
How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and the results can last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. Using your own natural hair, Advanced Hair can restore your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning. All backed by Advanced Hair's guarantee. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Lionel Richie. And Earth, Wind, and Fire. The tour continues. Seattle, you're invited to sing a song all night long. Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Together in one magical night you don't want to miss. Climate Pledge Arena, August 3rd. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Guys, your New Year goals start now. Get limited time savings on our most popular treatments at Revive Men's Health. Visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to see if you qualify to save hundreds.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 6:30. A group of Seahawks fans is taking their 12's pride to new heights, literally.
They are raising money to fly a 12 flag over San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge over Super Bowl weekend.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has the details and joins us live.
I told you yesterday that you're going to hear stories here that you're not going to hear anywhere else leading up to the Super Bowl, Seahawks related. You know, the 12s do some crazy things, don't they? From this guy, Tim, getting a Seahawks tattoo before the Hawks were even on their way to the Super Bowl.
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy at all. There's no tiny little bit of doubt at all anywhere in my head.
Tim, you're a little crazy. And then there was this Tim, better known as Sea-Hulk, who painted his body, you've probably seen him, to look like the Hulk at Super Bowl 49.
I'm hoping that I get on TV one time at the Super Bowl.
He definitely did, but who thinks of invading San Francisco with a giant 12-man flag towed behind a plane? Well, it wasn't the first crazy idea that Tansy Allen had.
Is there a way I can get a 12 flag on the Golden Gate Bridge? I'm like, nah, the legal stuff with that, like the safety issues. I'm like, but I can fly one over that bridge just fine.
Yeah, so that's what they're going to do. Tansy's part of the Seahawkers Booster Club. And right now they have a pilot. They have a plane, but they need a 35 by 35 foot flag. They almost have the $3,000 to get that made in time. Well, actually, no, they have that money right now, but they're raising money on their GoFundMe page to get more money for everything else, fuel, the plane, etc.
It's like $3,000 a flight, like per day. Or if we commit to their weekend package, $30,000.
So that's a lot of money, $30,000. So you can check this out on our YouTube feed. They have raised about $4,400 right now on their GoFundMe page. We're going to put a link on mynorthwest.com to that page. I want to see if between now and the end of Seattle's Morning News today, if our stories help raise that a little bit. We'll find out. Well, finally, here's why this is so important to this group.
Because this is really like for the 12s. This is for the 12s to be part of something. Like everybody is priced out of tickets. Like the tickets are astronomical. So many fans would love to be there and they can't.
And this is kind of cool too. If they get this done after we win the Super Bowl, they're going to take the flag and they're going to donate it to the person or people, I don't know who it is, but I'm going to find this person too. You ever come down, I-90 westbound, you see the big,
sure.
they're going to replace that flag because that gets tattered in the weather and stuff, and they're going to donate the flag to them 35 by 35 feet. I mean, huge.
I used to live out there in the Issaquah Highlands, and we would try to figure out how to hike to that, but it's right as you approach Issaquah from the east. It's very cool.
Yeah, so, wow, I hope they get it done. Let's see if we can help raise some money. Why not? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay, Luke,
Hawks.
keep us updated. 6:33 now. Chris Sullivan has traffic on the threes for us.
And we are struggling coming down out of the north end. Today, it's not so much as the forced merge with the loss of the express lanes as we have a crash that's blocking the HOV lane as you approach Northgate. And so we're bumper to bumper from about 175th and Shoreline, have about an hour drive from Everett into Seattle, 40 of those minutes from Linwood. 405 is starting to fill in as well as our primary alternate, really heavy away from Linwood and down through Bothell. So about 50 minutes from Everett into the Bellevue area. Northbound I-5 really struggling getting into downtown. We have a crash in the HOV lane just north of the West Seattle Bridge. Has us back to the middle of Boeing Field. All in all, we've got about a 55-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle, with 35 of those minutes coming up from South Center. Renton to Bellevue, we're still working with a crash there right by the Maple Valley Highway. It isn't causing a huge backup, but it's enough to give us 25 minutes to get you up to Bellevue. Once you're past Sunset, it's going to be a pretty good drive. About 45 to 50 minutes from Puyallup to Renton, and Olympia to Tacoma is back down to 40 after an earlier crash in South Tacoma. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
You're going to get wet for the next couple of days. Rain today, 53 the high. Rain at times tomorrow, maybe up to a quarter inch, and 52. Saturday, a little break from the rain, and then the showers return on Sunday. Right now, it's 47 in Seattle.
6:35 now, and the news dropped yesterday around this time.
It's not good. Yeah. You can't do anything about it. I mean, it's going to impact everybody.
Confirmation of 16,000 jobs cut at Amazon. We still don't have confirmation which teams will be affected or how many of the layoffs will hit the state, but Luz, who owns Evergreen Sandwich Shop near Amazon HQ, says any way you slice it, layoffs will have a ripple effect.
I just hired not too long ago because we were so busy, but it might affect like the hours. Everybody might get less hours if it gets slow.
Last fall, 2,300 of the 14,000 positions lost are here in Washington. Yesterday, Amazon also issued notices of 400 layoffs related to the closures of its Amazon Go and Amazon Fresh stores.
While other companies are announcing layoffs, Starbucks is shifting back into growth after a difficult year. The company shared new earnings yesterday, outlining plans for hundreds of new stores. Leaders expect to open as many as 650 locations worldwide this year, 128 of them planned in the first quarter. Since Brian Niccol became CEO in August of 2024, Starbucks has been reworking how it operates. His Back to Starbucks plan invests $1 billion in training, upgrades, and more efficient stores.
President Trump and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are reportedly close to a deal that would avert a partial government shutdown. Schumer wants to take a DHS funding bill out of a larger package of spending bills ahead of tomorrow's deadline. CBS's Jared Hill says the proposals Democrats want could be addressed in an executive order. As for the specifics,
they say they want key changes to, in particular, one of the bills related to the Department of Homeland Security. What they're looking for here are a requirement that federal agents wear body cameras as well as not wear masks while they're out in the field.
The Federal Reserve is kicking off the new year without changing interest rates, but economists say the bigger story is what comes next, including potential rate cuts later this year and the political pressure shaping the central bank's decisions. Here's CBS's Bradley Blackburn.
The rate is down from over 5% in 2024, but the Fed is holding off on more cuts, pointing to solid economic growth and still elevated inflation. CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger says policymakers are taking a wait-and-see approach.
I think that the Fed is really stuck right now because they don't have enough data that tips the balance in one direction or the other.
Schlesinger says steady rates can be good news for savers, but not for borrowers.
Many financial analysts don't believe the Fed will cut rates dramatically this year, expecting no more than 1 or 2 cuts of 0.25%.
The credit card company Visa is joining others in helping provide financial support at the start of a child's life through so-called Trump accounts created by the Trump administration. CBS News business reporter Jason Brooks has more.
Visa says it will let its credit card holders deposit rewards into Trump accounts, a new program being launched by the White House and U.S. Treasury Department, in which, under new tax laws, the U.S. government will deposit $1,000 to every newborn in which an account has been opened by their parents, with money managed by private firms, with children gaining access to the money when they turn 18. Visa CEO Ryan McInerney told a press conference that the move is intended to help families save for their children's future through everyday spending.
You probably have friends, family members, or even coworkers who brag about their high credit score. And that's led you to wonder how you, too, can have a score high enough to boast about. We get some tips from CBS News reporter Christopher Cruz.
The higher your score, the more likely it is you'll be approved for a mortgage loan, a car loan, credit cards, and personal loans, and get the most competitive rates. So how can you boost your score? Since 35% of a credit score consists of payment history, make sure you consistently pay your bills on time. A single payment 30 days or more late can knock 50 or more points off your score. The second most important factor in a credit score is amounts owed or credit utilization. The higher your balance compared to your credit limit, the lower your score. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
The opening bell, Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 227 points. That's 0.46%. S&P 500 is flat, 0% change. And the NASDAQ is down 152. That's 0.64%.
Well, grocery stores are tracking your every move. From the second you step foot in the door to when you check out, they've been watching, tracking how you shop, what you buy, then selling your info for top dollar. KIRO 7's Gary Horker investigates loyalty programs. Are the savings really worth what you're giving up? Tonight at 5:30, only on KIRO 7 TV.
Okay, Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the crash we have southbound I-5 getting into the Northgate area, and we'll break it down next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000. Ugh.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Around here, rain isn't a surprise. While others run for cover, Seahawks fans step into the storm, game day ready. And the Pro Shop is how.
Ball picked up. Witherspoon comes near side. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Seahawks!
Every game, any weather. We got that. Shop official Seahawks gear in-store at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/ProShop.
6:43 now, traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And we're well over an hour now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with about 40 to 45 of those minutes away from Linwood. For 405, it's just the extra volume from people trying to avoid southbound 5. It's bumper to bumper from Linwood off and on all the way down through 522. I-5 is a combination of things. Not only do we have the forced merge, but we're also working with a crash right there before you get to Northgate. It's still in the HOV lane, and so we're bumper to bumper from about 175th, maybe a little bit before, as you work your way into downtown. So already off to the races there. Positive news for those of you stuck in the 15-minute backup on northbound I-5 from the middle of Boeing Field up past the West Seattle Bridge. The HOV lane is finally clear from a crash we had just north of the West Seattle Bridge. So that's certainly positive. Now, if you normally use 509 to avoid I-5, I'd avoid it right now. I don't have eyes on it, but there's a crash kind of right near 112th heading north on 509 coming out of Burien, and it's backed up almost all the way to 518, so plan on big time delays there on 509. Renton to Bellevue still running at about a half an hour. Behind that, the Valley Freeway about 50 minutes. Olympia to Tacoma is only 40. We still have a little bit of slowing around what's left of a crash near 56, and some brake lights up the hill to Highway 18, but nothing you can't handle. The lake bridges are fine. This report brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Confident winter driving starts at Subaru of Puyallup. Stress-free pricing, SubaruofPuyallup.com. Stress-free buying at Subaru of Puyallup, which is your stress-free dealership.
Our forecast, we're going to see rain at times for today and tomorrow. In fact, 100% chance of rain tomorrow, up to a quarter-inch of possibility. Highs will be in the low 50s, overnight lows around 45. A break from the rain on Saturday, should be mainly dry. Right now it's 47 in Seattle.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with a tech talk. Why some new technology used by the NFL may have helped solidify the Seahawks' trip to the Super Bowl. We'll talk about it on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about football. It's exciting when Seattle fans shake the earth. You can even feel that energy on your 100-inch variable refresh QLED surround sound 7.1. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know that enjoying the game often involves alcohol. And the police know it too. Have fun, be responsible on game day, and pace yourself. If you feel sacked in the fourth quarter, get a designated driver to take you to your end zone. If you get carried away with too many Bloody Marys after too many Hail Marys, call for a timeout. You get the point. Be safe. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Watching the game in your blue and green jersey is a lot more fun than wearing an orange jumpsuit.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Cold is weakening, rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Good morning. It's 6:47 in this week's Tech Talk. During the NFC Championship game on Sunday, a single play almost led to doom for the Seahawks late in the game.
Until KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey reports, a combination of good refereeing and technology helped send the Hawks to the Super Bowl.
One of the biggest moments in the Seahawks win Sunday didn't come from a touchdown. It came from technology. Late in the fourth quarter, Seattle leading by 4. Cooper Kupp caught a short pass on third down with just over 3 minutes left.
Time throws it over the middle. Cooper Kupp makes the catch, reaches out. Ball came out, but he was down on the ground.
He stretched for the line to gain. He hit the ground, and the ball came loose. To start out,
this is a huge play.
As Football First's Kevin Kennedy explains, the referees determined Kupp was tackled down by contact and didn't fumble the ball because
he catches the ball, he takes 2 steps.
Meaning he had possession of the football and made a football move.
Therefore, when he hits the ground cannot cause a fumble, so he is down upon impact.
However, what came next was another call that didn't just come down to the naked eye. Instead, it was
so close. Really close.
To get a first down, just a millimeter of the ball needed to cross the line to gain. And this is where technology helped save the day. As we told you in last week's Tech Talk, the NFL is now using new technology called the Hawkeye Smart Replay System, aptly named, that pulls together every broadcast camera angle and 6 8K NFL cameras all at once to make quicker and more accurate calls, just like Tom Brady said on the play-by-play.
Oh, there'll be a good look at that one, too.
Crews at Lumen Field and in New York analyzed and measured the exact placement of the ball faster than ever before. And at the end of this pivotal third down play in the Seahawks' most important game in more than a decade.
Ruling on the field is the runner was down by contact, and it's a first down.
Oh, so they say first down.
Wow.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Ah, stuff it, Tom Brady. I mean, he is a former New England Patriot. So, what did Kupp have to say after the game?
Yeah, you never reach on third down.
And by reaching out, he kind of committed a cardinal sin in football.
You reach for it on third down, you fumble, that opportunity's gone now. You've eliminated the chance for anything on fourth down, and so that's why you don't do it on third, but it worked out.
Sometimes the game comes down to inches.
It is a first down. Oh, against his former team. Cooper Kupp makes what might be one of the plays of the game right there.
Sometimes it comes down to the tech that measures them.
That was such a wild moment at that game.
Yeah.
And remember, a couple of weeks ago, we also introduced you to the grounds crew at Lumen Field, and this is why painting those lines is so important, because if they didn't paint those accurately, just a millimeter we're talking about, that is not a first down.
And ultimately, no Super Bowl.
There you go.
Right?
Thank you, Luke.
You're
It's
welcome.
6:51. Well, there's a new injury concern for the Seahawks. Linebacker Ernest Jones IV, a key member of the dark side. That's the defense, if you're not familiar. He was listed on the team's injury report yesterday with a chest injury. He is tied for second in the NFL in the regular season with 5 interceptions, 15 games. Also tied for 18th in the league with 126 total tackles. Seattle had 9 players listed as limited, including quarterback Sam Darnold with the oblique injury he's dealt with throughout the playoffs.
Well, preparations well underway at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara ahead of Super Bowl 60. National Football League field director Nick Pappas says a new playing surface is one piece of his to-do list ahead of the rematch between the Patriots and the Seahawks. He says field time will be even harder to get next week when the guests start to arrive.
We'll bring down halftime rehearsals, pregame player intro rehearsals, pregame and postgame ceremony rehearsals, things like that. Obviously trying to figure out the appropriate schedule and calendar as we get into Sunday.
Is it time yet? Sunday, February 8th, that is. Kickoff 3:30 our time, and you will hear it all here on KIRO News Radio.
Well, this was quite the roller coaster of emotions yesterday. The voice of the Mariners offered a tearful farewell ahead of his final season in the broadcast booth. Rick Riz spoke to reporters yesterday saying it's just been an incredible ride.
You know, you get to a certain point where you're not that little kid, watching the games on TV.
Rick has spent 51 years calling professional baseball, 40 of them here in Seattle.
It's the people that you meet along the way, and yeah, this is going to be my last year, but I'm not going anywhere. I still want to hang out with the ball club.
So this season, he will continue to call home games, but he's going to get some well-deserved time off for road trips.
You know what's cool is the ball club still wants to hang out with him. I mean, everybody loves Riz.
Doesn't everyone want to hang out with Riz?
Yes.
That's one of the perks of the job, right? We get to talk during the regular season every week. There's Rick Riz on the phone, and he knows our names.
It's almost February. It's almost time for pitchers and catchers to report, right?
I know. We need to talk to Rick soon. It's 6:53. It's almost as good as talking with Chris Sullivan every 10 minutes on the threes or traffic. Almost.
But you get me 6 times an hour. Riz, we only get once a week. So, yeah, I get it. He's a little higher up the food chain, and that's okay.
Just a scooch.
He's a legend. Looking at the drive now, new crash to tell you about, not in a good spot. This one's southbound I-5 as you approach 164th, the Mill Creek interchange. Looks like it's off to the right shoulder, but that's why we're bumper to bumper away from 128. And that's turned our Everett to Seattle drive to about an hour and 20 minutes with 50 minutes away from Linwood. Still very slow from 175th all the way down into Northgate. HOV lane remains blocked there before the forced merge. So plan on delays there. For 405, it's also really heavy from beginning of Canyon Park all the way down into the Bothell area. Northbound 5 getting much better past the West Seattle Bridge now that we've cleared the crash that we had there for most of the morning. Do hit the brakes around the beginnings of Boeing Field, but it loosens up the further north you go. 50 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. If you normally take 509 to move away from I-5 to get into downtown, don't do it at this point. We're bumper to bumper all the way from 518 in Burien all the way up to 112th. Not sure which lane this is in, but either way, it's a really significant backup. Rented to Bellevue, about 30 minutes. Behind that, the Valley Freeway's a little over 50. Some eastbound slowing on 512 down the South Hill, nothing you can't handle. Olympia to Tacoma's running 35 minutes. The Lake Bridges are still in very good shape. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Lots of rain around for the next couple of days. 53-hour high for today. It looks like the steady rain will be in the morning hours, tapering off to showers by afternoon, but we're talking up to a quarter inch of rain for tomorrow as we wrap up the week. 52 again tomorrow. Saturday should be mainly dry, but we get right back to the showers on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, a little drizzly, and it's 47 degrees.
Coming up, WashDOT explains why they will not be opening southbound express lanes during the Revive I-5 months-long project. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has the report.
And Sully has a very interesting choke point coming up, dealing with the Fairfax Bridge. We'll get to that on the way at 7:15.
You are listening to Seattle's Morning News right here on KIRO News Radio.
Does my voice sound pretty good?
Better than I thought it would. The John Curley Show.
I was really trying to work with my diaphragm.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I was screaming as everybody else was screaming, and all of a sudden the muscles in my neck tightened up and it shut off blood in my head. I thought I almost passed out. I was so close.
What if you died?
Well, I would have been paying no attention to me like, get up, Dad.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thin spinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision.
If you're over 50 and you've been diagnosed with a cataract, or your vision is changing as you're developing an early cataract, you could be a perfect candidate for K2 Vision RLE.
It's inevitable. At some point, typically in your 60s or 70s, you'll have a dysfunctional lens that eventually becomes a cataract. To restore your vision, you will someday need a procedure such as refractive lens exchange.
The question is, are you done with glasses? Do you want to spend your good, active years hassling with changing prescriptions and needing readers?
K2 Vision RLE can give you great vision now, permanently, and you'll never develop that cataract. The procedure is quick and painless, and our state-of-the-art custom lens technologies give highly predictable outcomes.
K2 Vision surgeons have performed nearly 100,000 procedures. We know when RLE is right for you.
Find out. Schedule a free Zoom consultation at k2visionrle.com.
K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters, a show that covers everything having to do with your home. Tune in every Saturday from 2 to 3 on KIRO Newsradio, where you'll hear from local business owners who are experts in their industries. From foundation to flooring, roofing and windows, furniture, and financial planning, it's everything in and around your home, and we've got you covered on Home Matters. If it matters to you, it matters to us here at Home Matters. Saturdays from 2 to 3 right here on KIRO Newsradio, or listen to the podcast on mynorthwest.com.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting. I'm Christopher Cruz. President Trump's border czar Tom Homan told reporters he's been ordered to make changes in ICE operations in Minneapolis.
President Trump wants this fixed, and I'm going to fix it.
Homan says his meetings with Minnesota leaders this week have been constructive.
We've come a long way.
He says he's working to make the immigration crackdown safer. Agents will conduct more targeted enforcement operations. Homan urged everyone to tone down the rhetoric.
I said in March, if the rhetoric didn't stop, there's going to be bloodshed. And there has been. I wish I wasn't right.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Homan says ICE and CBP are working on plans to draw down the number of federal agents deployed to Minneapolis. Republicans are taking seriously Democratic threats to hold up approval of funding bills for a number of large federal agencies unless ICE makes changes in the way its agents operate. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns has that.
Essentially, what Democrats want to do, and the White House apparently seems open to this, is separate out that DHS funding bill from the rest of the package. So pass the rest of the package, things like funding the Pentagon, transportation, education, and other agencies.
In Mississippi, thousands of homes and businesses haven't had power since the ice storm came through over the weekend. CBS's Tom Hansen reports.
Robin Tannehill, the mayor of Oxford, the small city home to Ole Miss, had to implement an emergency plan for its limited water supply to prioritize shortages at its hospital.
So it's going to be a long road to recovery. You know, it's hard to even get our minds that far ahead right now when we still have people without power and without water. We're still really in emergency mode.
Former Sangamon County, Illinois Deputy Sheriff Sean Grayson will be sentenced today. He was found guilty of second-degree murder in the death of Sonia Massey. She'd called police to report a possible prowler. Grayson shot her when she refused to put down a pot of boiling water. CBS News asked Sonia's cousin, Sante Massey, what kind of sentence the family hopes Grayson gets.
We know that it's not up to us. We are a praying family, and we know it's
ultimately God's decision.
Grayson could get up to 20 years. More than 250 years ago, Benjamin Franklin said early to bed, early to rise makes one healthy, wealthy, and wise. CBS's Michael George says old Ben just might have been onto something.
A study in the UK found that middle-aged and older adults who are more active in the evenings tended to have worse cardiovascular health than people who are more active in the daytime. Night owls' unhealthy behaviors like poor diet, insufficient sleep, and smoking may be the reason for the disparity.
This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
7:03 now. We check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic on the threes.
And we are struggling, like you might expect, coming down out of the north end with the forced merge and the loss of the express lanes. Adding to that is just before you would normally have to get over there because the express lanes are closed, there is a crash in that HOV lane. Kind of the ideal spot, now that I think about it, for there to be a crash because you're already having to merge over anyway. We're backed up to about 175th, and we've got about an hour drive from Linwood down into Seattle. It's about an hour and 20 all the way, maybe a little bit more. Good news is the crash we had up near 164th is out of the way. Southbound 405, bumper to bumper away from Linwood, also an hour from Linwood down into Bellevue, and about an hour and 20 all the way from Everett. Those are 25 to 30-minute delays. Coming the other direction, running faster than normal from Federal Way to Seattle, going at about 52, 53 minutes. There is some slowing past the West Seattle Bridge. We had an earlier crash there. Do not use 509 northbound out of Burien. It is bumper to bumper from about 518 all the way up to about the Rainier Country Club. If you don't know where that is, it's around 112th there as you work your way into South Park. Federal Way to Seattle, like I gave you, Valley Freeway really heavy out of Auburn today. Looks like we might have a new crash right near Emerald Downs. 50 minutes from end to end, and rented to Bellevue's running around 35. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, it's 7:04. Well, if you drive I-5 through North Seattle during your morning commute, you know the pain.
Oh, yeah. The State Department of Transportation's Revive I-5 project has the express lane stuck northbound only for another year during Ship Canal Bridge construction.
Well, yesterday, the Jake and Spike show put WashDOT on the hot seat, and WashDOT called out our own traffic expert, Sully. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
It's a showdown, and we'll get to it. It's coming up. Hey, if you're on I-5 South right now, you know what we're talking about. It is miserable, and WashDOT's Tom Pierce and Mike Squires told the Jake and Spike show, they get it.
It's pretty obvious what drivers are experiencing, and we know it's a challenge for folks that are dealing with that.
They also explained, they have to inspect, repair, and repave the Ship Canal Bridge. There's no way around it, and because there are only 2 lanes open heading northbound on the bridge, WashDOT is keeping the northbound express lanes open to alleviate pressure, and they're closing all the southbound express lanes, but that's adding on about, Sully tells me, an hour and a half to the commute from Everett to Seattle and Bellevue. Well, here's why there are no plans to open the southbound express lanes to alleviate those backups.
If we didn't have a way to maintain throughput and capacity on the roadway system, anytime we had a collision occur, for instance, the northbound I-5, all of northbound would basically be shut down until we're able to clear that crash.
However, and here we go. Our traffic guru, Chris Sully Sullivan, has been watching this project very, very closely. He's finding northbound traffic with 2 lanes closed is actually a little bit faster now, about 15 minutes faster. And here was WashDOT's response to that.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with what data Chris is pointing to. Our numbers aren't showing that type of experience. Our northbound commute is hovering around our baseline, so pretty similar to what we saw before construction, while southbound is experiencing more.
Chris?
Well, I'm just using WashDOT's own travel times. And they've been running about, 10 to 15 minutes faster most mornings. We no longer have an hour and 15-minute commute from Federal Way to Seattle. Most days it's running around 55 because there's no forced merge at the north end. So, yeah, I'm just using their own travel times. I'd love to use them today, but ironically and weird, just after that, their travel times page has gone down. Today, and they haven't unplugged it and plugged it back in, which usually is what it takes.
Control-Alt-Delete.
Yeah, but I'm just using their own numbers. So,
Well, and to be honest and fair, there's no real animosity between
No,
you and
not at all.
WashDOT at all. It's just we're just having a little bit of fun. But it is interesting, people get heated in these kinds of moments with traffic and backups. But the data, they have a different interpretation of data.
And I get it. I just go by their travel times. So
well, and anecdotally, my friends and family in Auburn, they are loving their commute going up north. So there is something to be said about that.
All right, more coming up in the next hour on this for sure.
All right, thank you, Luke. There's a measure in the state legislature which targets people who don't renew car tabs.
We get more on this from KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin.
Washington lawmakers say they've lost more than $25 million in tax revenue because people aren't renewing their registration. Now they're proposing the Pay Your Tabs or Else bill, which slaps a minimum fine of $145 on unregistered cars. That's compared to the current base fee of $43, plus the fees based on where you live and what you drive. Under this bill, parked and unoccupied cars can be ticketed as well.
A partial government shutdown is looming as some Senate Democrats say they will not vote for a spending measure unless funding for the Department of Homeland Security is split off. Here's Senator Patty Murray.
And we need real reforms. And until that happens, until we begin reining in this out-of-control department, we cannot pass the DHS bill as it stands.
She also demands an independent investigation into the death of Alex Preddy, who died in a confrontation with federal agents over the weekend.
Now, the Washington State Senate has passed a bill banning law enforcement from wearing masks while on duty. We get the update from KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglovin.
This is Bill 5855. It bolsters an existing state law that requires officers to be reasonably identifiable through a badge or a name tag. Now, this bill prohibits opaque face coverings like balaclavas and tactical masks. The bill is on the way to the House. Governor Bob Ferguson has been pushing for its passing, saying he will sign it when it hits his desk.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Amanda, does this take you back to, I don't know, senior year, North Thurston High School?
In Lacey, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm busy dancing right now.
Yeah. How high was your hair, by the way?
Oh, my gosh.
How much Aquanet did you
My
use in a week?
My daughter makes fun of it. She said, you really did your hair that way? It was a lot.
Yeah. We always said that about the Linwood girls.
Probably about 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is Seattle's Morning News. It is Blue Thursday. Thanks for being here. That's Manda, and I'm Charlie Harger.
Glad to have you with us. Producer David Burbank here in the studio with us. Sully's checking traffic every 10 minutes, and Nick Kreisha is the one who picks the awesome tunes. He's running the board in the control room.
Okay, Sully, you have a choke point coming up.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at a very interesting situation that's happening right there in near Mount Rainier, where a community has been cut off by an emergency, but it's not being treated as an emergency. It's very interesting.
Okay. And in today's 735 commentary, a proposed bill in Olympia that is unbelievable. I'll explain that in about 25 minutes.
We'll also get a legislative update from Seattle Times political reporter Shauna Sowersby.
7:10 now. BloodWorks Northwest issues a code red alert for blood donations as the Pacific Northwest supply is not keeping up with demand.
BloodWorks says it has only a 1 to 2 day supply of blood, and a healthy supply is 5 to 7 days. The problem is winter storms moving across much of the country. People there can't get out to donate blood, so BloodWorks is sending blood to places like Texas to help out. Juan Cotto is with BloodWorks Northwest.
We will need several thousand donors over the next week to restore a stable, acceptable blood supply.
Call BloodWorks Northwest or find them online if you'd like to donate. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Local authorities have a warning ahead of this summer's World Cup matches in Seattle.
We do expect to see a spike in sex trafficking. With the event comes a ton of tourism.
Brayla McGinnis with the King County Prosecutor's Office Human Trafficking Unit tells KIRO 7 TV if someone is caught buying sex, they're only charged with a misdemeanor. This month, her office is asking lawmakers to change that misdemeanor to a felony. If House Bill 2526 passes, that would happen before the first match.
For the first time this flu season, a child has died from influenza here in Washington. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports it happened in Snohomish County.
Health officials say it was a teenager who got sick last week. So far, 10 deaths have been reported in Snohomish County this flu season, and more than 220 people have been hospitalized. Statewide, there have been 59 confirmed flu-related deaths. Snohomish County Health Officer Dr. James Lewis says it's not too late to get your flu shot. The season typically runs from October through April, usually peaks right about now. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
One more quick health note. 3 new measles cases have been confirmed in Snohomish County. We've been following a small outbreak there since a family that visited from South Carolina became sick after Christmas. That family is linked to at least the first 3 cases of measles in Snohomish County. Latest case confirmed in an unvaccinated child. County health officers say there was an exposure while they were at an afternoon service at the Slavic Christian Church Awakening in Mukilteo on January 18th.
At 7:12, let's get a check on weather brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. Today, rain on and off throughout the day, a high of 53. Tomorrow, even heavier rain, maybe up to a quarter inch. 52 for our high. Then we dry out on Saturday, dry, and 57 for our high. Scattered showers on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, we have cloudy skies. It's 41.
And it's 7:13. Time for traffic. Once again, we do that every 10 minutes on the threes. Here's Sully.
And I'm going to start with the positive news, which it looks like we are dealing with what we were dealing with on 509 northbound getting out of Burien up near 112th appears to have gotten out of the way. We still have some backup near 518, but all in all, it looks like we're getting much better getting into White Center and South Park there because of that. So no longer really need to delay or move away from that. You got about a 5 or 6 minute delay, but it's going away quickly. Northbound I-5, Federal Way to Seattle's running faster than normal. Have about a 55-minute trip for you guys, maybe even a little less. It's not too bad past the West Seattle Bridge. Still looking for some help on northbound 167 right around the Emerald Downs area. I've had reports of a crash, but I can't find it on my cams. Either way, we've got about a 55-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is about 35 minutes. The lake bridges are still fine. Still working with this crash in the HOV lane on southbound I-5 right as you approach the forced merge in Northgate. We have about an hour and 15-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. So kind of the standard that we've gotten used to with the new construction situation and configuration. This report brought to you by Subaru Puyallup. Confident winter driving starts at Subaru Puyallup. Find stress-free pricing at SubaruPuyallup.com. Enjoy stress-free buying at Subaru Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
It is 7:14 now. So when a truck hits and damages a bridge or a landslide takes out a road, those are emergencies that qualify for extra money, grants, and faster response times.
But when your bridge is shut down by neglect and a failure of lawmakers in Olympia, that's not an emergency. You're on your own. Sully is here with the story.
When a truck took out the Bullfrog overpass on westbound I-90, it took only months to get it replaced. When a truck damaged the White River Bridge, repairs only took months, and businesses in Buckley and Enumclaw qualified for emergency loans. It turns out there are emergencies, and then there are emergencies. Not all are treated the same. Ask Wilkeson Mayor Jamie Pololi. Her city's lifeline, the Fairfax Bridge over the Carbon River, which connects her town to the Mount Rainier National Park, was shut down last year, and everything stopped.
When that access disappeared, it did not create an inconvenience. It actually severed the system that sustains us. Visitor traffic stopped overnight. Businesses lost their customer base immediately. Seasonal employment disappeared. Emergency routing became constrained, and a nationally significant gateway to Mount Rainier National Park was effectively removed from the map.
But Wilkeson isn't eligible for emergency funding or expedited repairs. The reason? The closure was caused by an intentional lack of funding for maintenance and preservation that led to the steel being too bad to keep it open. For decades, that steel got worse, and the legislature failed to fund the work. The bridge was load restricted 3 times before they finally had to close it last April. It turns out that willful neglect is not an emergency. There are no grants coming for the businesses to stay open. There is no fast-tracking work to repair or replace the bridge. Mayor Pololi went to the legislature this week to highlight the absurdity.
What Wilkeson is facing is not routine infrastructure failure. It is a systematic gap. That state has no emergency designation pathway for long neglected infrastructure, no stabilization mechanism when access is severed, and no coordinated economic mitigation framework for a gateway community.
And while the Department of Transportation moved quickly to fix the Bullfrog overpass and the White River Bridge, it could be 6 years before the Fairfax Bridge is rebuilt, if it's rebuilt at all. There are 2 options on the table, only 2. spend at least $160 million to build a new bridge just north of the existing one, or simply remove the damaged bridge and leave the community with nothing. WashDOT's Steve Rourke explained the realities to the mayor and legislature this week.
Since it's not a repair, like an emergency slide or something like that, and it's a new bridge on a new alignment, there's no contract to let. There's no advantage at this point to declaring an emergency.
No way to speed up 18 months of study, another 2 years of environmental and engineering work, and another 2+ years of construction. And meanwhile, Wilkeson and other small communities along the corridor are left to fend for themselves. And considering how many state bridges are in bad shape after years of willful neglect, Mayor Paloli had this to say.
We're not asking for special treatment. We are asking for the level of response that this situation warrants. One that restores access, protects public safety, and recognizes that communities cannot be left to absorb the consequences of state-owned infrastructure failure alone. Wilkeson is not the exception. Wilkeson is the warning.
There are several bills before the legislature to help out these communities. One would allow WashDOT to waive some red tape to maybe get at this faster. The other would eliminate business and occupation taxes and eliminate property taxes in the affected area this year. But it looks like relief will not be coming anytime soon.
What the heck are we thinking in this? I know this isn't commentary time. What are we thinking by not doing this preventative maintenance? We know we're going to get hosed. Little communities like Wilkinson are paying the price. And what happens when it's a bigger community, or if you're listening right now, the community where you live? We're just ignoring this, and there are absolutely going to be problems in the future.
Yeah, and again, it's something that the legislature has chosen to do over the last 20 or 30 years. Fund new things, fund pet projects, and not take care of maintenance and preservation. What's ironic, if a truck had taken out the Fairfax Bridge, this would be an emergency. But the legislature failing to pay for upkeep, that's not an emergency. The result's the same. They don't have a bridge, but the community is left with nothing.
Do we have any idea how much it would cost to fix it or replace it?
Well, right now they have $160 million is the estimate for the new bridge, just north of where it is.
That seems cheap to me.
Well, again, that's the initial estimate. That generally would go up. And again, the other option is just to do nothing, tear down the old one, which is weird because it's on the National Historic Registry.
It's a beautiful old bridge.
It is. But it's just, again, we've spent 30 years prioritizing other things in Olympia, and the chickens are coming home to roost. It's this community this week. Who is it next?
What's the workaround here in terms of detours and how people are getting around?
Well, there is an emergency locals-only gated area that allows deliveries and people to get across that area, but it's locked. The gate is locked, and there's really no access to get up into Mowich Lake or into that part of Rainier, and so everybody who would normally be going there just aren't. So for the locals, there is a little workaround, but it's a one-lane road that barely fits one car in one direction, and they were able to get some emergency money to beef that up, but nothing for the grand scheme of things.
Wow. All right. You have more on My Northwest?
Yeah. The irony is pretty obvious here.
All right, Sully. Thank you. A new study suggests the driving habits of older adults can reveal early warning signs of dementia.
Researchers tracked the driving habits of hundreds of drivers ages 65 and older for several years. Those who started braking harder or getting in accidents were more likely to develop white matter damage in the back of the brain, an early warning sign of cognitive decline. Study co-author Chaling Pua.
The way that older adults drive can quietly reflect what's happening in their brain long before any major memory problems appear.
The study also found drivers who were taking blood pressure medications were less likely to show unsafe driving behaviors. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Well, U.S. life expectancy is at an all-time high. The latest numbers are from 2024.
It's 79 years, according to numbers just out from the CDC, and it's the highest ever. CDC's National Center for Health Statistics cites the drop in COVID-19 infections and also lower death rates from heart disease, cancer, and drug overdoses. Heart disease remains the nation's leading cause of death, even as its fatality rate dropped 3% for the second year in a row, attributed to better medical treatment and weight management. Despite some good news here, the U.S. still ranks below dozens of other countries for longevity. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
I feel like I'm having a little bit of Seahawks withdrawal.
Okay.
Shall we go there?
Yes.
The NFL GOAT has been talking highly of the Seahawks ahead of Super Bowl 60.
There's no doubt to me the best team in the NFC is playing in the Super Bowl. That's for sure.
Yes, that is the voice of former New England Patriot quarterback Tom Brady. He joined the Brock and Salk show yesterday on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. Brady gave Seahawks coach Mike McDonald and GM John Schneider a lot of credit for this team's success.
You know, Coach McDonald, again, he's so young in his coaching career, but he's had tremendous success in a short period of time. And I give, John a ton of credit for, he's just an incredible executive, how he's turned over the roster and maintained the culture. There's just been so much success over time. So, again, just it all starts at the top and trying to do the right things every day in order to be successful. And Seattle's done an incredible job of that.
Coach McDonald up for NFL Coach of the Year award. Of course, John Schneider won this season's Executive of the Year. Of course, we'll continue to have coverage ahead of Super Bowl 60 throughout this week and next here on KIRO News Radio.
That Brady interview is such a big deal for them. It made the national news.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's talking about Bill Belichick getting hosed in the run for Football Hall of Fame. A lot of news came out of that interview.
The newsroom was all abuzz, too. It's like, they have Brady
They got Tom
what?
Brady. What? Yeah. All right. It's 7:23. We have Chris Sullivan, who is checking traffic on the threes.
And we have a new crash to tell you about, and it's not in a very good spot. It's right there on the I-5 southbound drive as you try to make your way into Seattle, right through the forced merge and the express lanes there, the normal we've gotten used to. Right around 145th, and it's in the right-hand lane, and so that compounds the hour drive that we have from Linwood down into Seattle and the hour and 20-minute trip we have from Everett. We still have a little bit of action over on the right shoulder as you get past 164th as well. Plus the hour, we have an hour plus from Linwood down in through Bellevue. Of course, I didn't play the sounder earlier, but yeah, we have hit the $15 max. We actually hit it about 40 minutes ago. We're hitting that $15 max about 45 or 50 minutes sooner or earlier in the morning than we used to. And it's staying around for longer, so the state's making more money there to help put back into that corridor, which it desperately needs. Northbound 167, I want to thank all my drivers. Let me know we have a little crash right around Emerald Downs over on the left-hand side, just on the left-hand side of the express toll lane there. That's explaining why we have about an hour drive from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is about 40 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour now, maybe just a little bit below its average. So the heaviest spot there is past the West Seattle Bridge. The Lake Bridges are good. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save $600 off windows, $1,500 off doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months savings cash financing. Don't wait. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Our forecast of rain today and tomorrow. We'll see highs around 52. Saturday, break in the rain, and then Sunday, the showers return. It's 47 in Seattle right now. Charlie, what's coming up in the 7:35 commentary?
It's just an outrageous piece of legislation still alive in Olympia. I'll talk about it next.
All right, and Luke Ducey will be here to talk Hawks. This is Seattle's Morning News at 7:25.
Commercial word here. Let me ask you something. After decades of working, saving, doing everything right, how much of your retirement will really go to taxes? More than you think if you're not careful. Do you really want 30, maybe 40% of what you've saved going to taxes and not to you in retirement? If you are thinking there's got to be a better way, I'm here to tell you there is, but it takes planning. Secret strategies wealthy families use to reduce their tax burden, well, they're not secrets. And if you've saved more than $300,000, those strategies could work for you too. The team at Boss Retirement Solutions right here in the Seattle area is offering a free retirement tax savings analysis. No obligation, just a clear look at how much you could keep. Give the Boss team a call, 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350. Boss Retirement Solutions, 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs!
KIRO Newsradio congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
The modern-day Bambino, Cal Raleigh.
We can't wait. From KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about football. It's exciting when Seattle fans shake the earth. You can even feel that energy on your 100-inch variable refresh QLED surround sound 7.1. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know that enjoying the game often involves alcohol. And the police know it too. Have fun, be responsible on game day, and pace yourself. If you feel sacked in the fourth quarter, get a designated driver to take you to your end zone. If you get carried away with too many Bloody Marys after too many Hail Marys, call for a timeout. You get the point. Be safe. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Watching the game in your blue and green jersey is a lot more fun than wearing an orange jumpsuit.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Andre. Andre, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
My wife and I were going to get married, and we wanted to combine our insurance for both home and auto.
Were they able to save you any money?
The money they quoted us was actually the same as what we were paying separately. However, the coverage that we received was immensely greater than what we were previously receiving. It's quite scary how unprotected we were with our previous coverage. Under First Mark, I'd probably say we doubled the coverage that we had. It was a huge deal.
What would you tell others they can expect when they make that call to First Mark?
Take the 15-minute phone call. It's totally free. It's not going to cost me anything. And the very least that could happen is just gain a better understanding. The best that could happen is you could either save money or get much better coverage, which is exactly what happened.
Andre did it. My family did it. You got to do it, and it's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge today. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, it's 7:30. A group of Seahawks fans is taking their 12's pride to new heights.
Yeah, they're raising money to fly a 12 flag over San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge over Super Bowl weekend.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has the details and joins us live.
Yeah, the 12's come up with some crazy ideas to support the Hawks, don't they? And one of those ideas somehow popped into Tansy Allen's head not too long ago to fly a giant 12-man flag over the Golden Gate Bridge, over San Francisco, and over Santa Clara. But it wasn't the first crazy idea. that she had.
Is there a way I can get a 12 flag on the Golden Gate Bridge? I'm like, nah, the legal stuff with that, like the safety issues. I'm like, but I can fly one over that bridge just fine.
I mean, what were they thinking? They were going to climb up the Golden Gate Bridge? I mean, that's insane, but flying is a better option, I think. So check this out on our YouTube feed. When we first told you this morning at 6:30 that they had raised on a GoFundMe site $4,400, and that's what you're looking at the YouTube feed. Well, it's gone up since we first aired that story to $4,700. Maybe we had something to do with it. I don't know. But the story is just about to post on mynorthwest.com. So if you're driving to work, as soon as you get there, go to mynorthwest.com. You can check out the story. Alan tells me they have a plane lined up. They have a pilot lined up. They just need to make the 35 by 35 foot flag. They could do that no problem. And they need to pay for the flights as well.
It's like $3,000 a flight, like per day. Or if we commit to their weekend package, $30,000.
I think they can do it. And here's why they can do it, and it's so important to them.
Because this is really like for the 12s. This is for the 12s to be part of something. Like everybody is priced out of tickets. Like the tickets are astronomical. So many fans would love to be there and they can't.
So if they get this done and we win the Super Bowl, then they're going to take the flag and donate it to whoever owns the property or get it up to the property along I-90. You know, if you head westbound near Issaquah, you look up and you see that 12 flag up in the hills. Well, they're going to replace that flag. So if you're listening again, why not go for this? They have a GoFundMe page going, and we're going to get it up on mynorthwest.com, and we'll see that 12 flag flying around San Francisco in enemy territory.
All right, Luke. That would be a great sight to see, huh? 7:33. Let's check in with Sully for traffic.
Well, it turns out the new crash we have on southbound I-5 is a little closer to 175th, or actually the Metro bus barn, as you make your way down. It looks like it's over on the right-hand side, not really having a big impact. The bigger impact is the loss of the express lanes, of course, and the fact that we still have a crash right there before you get to that forced merge. So we're running at about an hour and 20 minutes from Everett into Seattle. That's about 25 minutes longer than normal. It's about an hour just away from Linwood. Same deal for Linwood down into Bellevue. There's also some braking right around 112th to 128th. We had an earlier crash by the Mill Creek interchange. Across the lake, we're still doing okay. I-90 is filling in a little bit. Northbound I-5, seeing some brake lights past the Kent Des Moines Road, and then definitely from the middle of Boeing Field on up past the West Seattle Bridge. You're going to need an hour today, kind of an average day for you guys. We did have an earlier crash up north of the West Seattle Bridge. 509 northbound, struggling again. This time it looks like we might have an issue on the First Avenue South Bridge, so I'll have more for you on that one in 10 minutes. Rented to Bellevue, about 40 minutes. Behind that, we do have a crash, northbound 167, right around Emerald Downs over on the left-hand side. You're going to need a little over an hour to go from Puyallup up into Renton. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO Newsradio App. Listen to your favorite shows. Get the latest news and updates right to your phone.
Our forecast, you're going to see rain today and tomorrow with highs into the low 50s. Tomorrow, we're talking up to a quarter inch of rain. For Saturday, should be mainly dry, maybe a few lingering showers, but the scattered showers return on Sunday. Right now, it is cloudy, still a little bit drippy, and 48 in Seattle.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
And it's time for the 7:35 commentary. Senate Bill 5312. I was surprised to read in the center square this week, this thing still has a pulse. I've read it 3 times, and I still can't believe it's real. Democratic State Senator Lisa Wellman has her name on a bill that would reduce sex offender registration and supervision requirements for people convicted through net nanny sting operations. Those are the cases where someone thinks they're chatting online with a 13-year-old, makes plans to meet up for sex, shows up at the location, and discovers the child was actually a cop. Wellman's argument, and the argument of the bill's supporters, is that there was no actual victim. The child was fictitious, nobody was harmed, so the consequences should be lighter. This would only apply to people who have committed no other crimes. Now, these are people who believed they were talking to a child. They sent explicit messages to someone they thought was a child. They made plans to sexually abuse someone they thought was a child. They got in their car, drove to a location, and showed up ready to assault someone they thought was a child. The only reason there's no victim is because they were too reckless to realize they were talking to a cop. The intent was real. The actions were real. The only thing that wasn't real was the child, and thank God for that. Under current law, these offenders register for 10 to 15 years, depending on the offense. This bill would cut that to 5 years. Current law keeps them under supervision until their maximum sentence expires. This bill cuts that to 3 years, and it's retroactive. People already convicted would get their requirements reduced. Now, this bill didn't pass last year, but it didn't die either. It carried over automatically to this year, like hundreds of other bills. The difference is, most of these bills aren't about going easier on child predators. Wellman could pull it today. She hasn't. So here we are. It's technically still active legislation. Supporters will tell you these people are different from offenders who hurt real children. They'll tell you that harsh registration requirements don't encourage rehabilitation. What they won't tell you is why we should care more about a predator's rehabilitation than about keeping parents informed about who lives in their neighborhood. I'm sorry, but no. We're supposed to believe that someone who drove across town to assault a child they met online is less dangerous because the child turned out to be fictional? That's the argument? These sting operations exist because we have a problem, a big one. Adults trying to meet up with kids for sex. It's happening constantly on every online platform. So naturally, the solution is to tell these guys, if you get caught by a cop instead of hurting an actual child, we'll go easier on you. That's the plan? What message does that send? We should be signaling to anyone who would prey on children that the consequences are severe and lifelong, that the risk isn't worth it, that we as a society take this seriously. This bill sends the opposite message. It says intent doesn't matter. It says if you're lucky enough to target a cop instead of a kid, you get a break. I don't care that there was no actual victim. They would have done it. They tried to do it. That should be enough. I don't care about their rehabilitation. I care about the next kid they might have access to. That's whose side I'm on. And that's the commentary for January 29th, 2026. You can text us at 888-973-5476. And you can always leave a comment on mynorthwest.com.
It's 7:39. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the drive coming down from the north end. Still struggling. We'll break it down for you next.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or bird seed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
At Skyline, senior living never sounded so good. The world feels bigger when you stay connected to ideas, to culture, to the things you love. We designed Skyline for today's older adults who celebrate life rooted in the city, not apart from it. At Seattle's only true life care community, premier music venues, museums, and culinary gems are just steps away. Urban senior living has an address. Discover it all at SkylineSeattle.org.
7:43, time for traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And we continue to struggle, but nothing out of the ordinary for the drive we've gotten used to now, almost 3 weeks into the months of hell, coming down from the north end. For 405, the brake lights begin right there in Linwood and go all the way down through 522, kind of maybe meandering a little bit down into Totem Lake. For I-5, it's basically from the Edmonds exit all the way down into Seattle. Compounding things this morning is we did have a crash, or we still do, but it's wrapping up, that's been blocking the HOV lane just before the forced merge. So people have been having to get over just a little bit earlier, but the hour and 25 minutes for Everett to Seattle or Bellevue has become about average, even though before the construction, that was probably 25-minute delay. Northbound I-5 is still seeing some brake lights past the West Seattle Bridge, a little bit out of Federal Way as well. We might have a crash or might have had one right around 272nd. Either way, still up about an hour from Federal Way to Seattle, which is about average. The Valley Freeway, we have had some issues not only right there at Highway 18, but just north of it as well. That's why we're so slow from Pacific up through about Emerald Downs. Give yourself an hour from Puyallup up to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is about 40 minutes, maybe a little bit more. The brake lights are heavy up past 44th, and then not too bad the rest of the way. The Lake Bridges are still enjoying a very good drive. Olympia to Tacoma is not too bad, and just some off and on braking here and there in some of the other spots, but really not too bad. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, you're going to get wet for the next couple of days. Rain today, up to a quarter inch of rain for tomorrow. Highs into the low 50s, overnight lows in the mid 40s. Looks like Saturday we'll get a bit of a break. Should be mainly dry, maybe even a sunbreak in 57. Back to scattered showers, though, on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, cloudy, still a little bit drizzly, and 48 degrees.
Coming up is our legislative update. We're going to speak with Shauna Soursby over at the Seattle Times. That's on the way here on Seattle's Morning News.
Hi, Ursula Royteen here. There's a reason I send so many people to Carter Subaru and why I am a repeat customer. They are Seattle's only Subaru dealership, and they have the largest selection in the state with over 700 Subarus in stock. Right now, get a 2025 Subaru Outback with 3.9% financing. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 1/31/26.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
The Tacoma Home and Garden Show, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, January 29th through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For info and discount tickets, go to TacomaHomeandGardenShow.com.
Right now, get a free furnace with the purchase of a premium heat pump and air cleaning package at CM Heating. Start today with an always free estimate. There's no beating CM Heating for heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. Go to cmheating.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974. This is KIRO Newsradio.
7:47 now. Let's get a check on Olympia. We're joined now by Seattle Times political reporter Shauna Sowersby. Good morning, Shauna. Thanks for being here today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Great to chat with you. Let's start with the vote yesterday, something that got a lot of attention on the Senate floor, this bill that would ban face coverings for law enforcement in the state. It was passed, so what's expected next?
Yeah, so it was passed kind of as expected on party lines, 30-19 on that. So now that bill will head over to the House. It's going to go through the same process as it did on the Senate side, through committee, public hearing, executive session, and then we should expect a floor vote on it. Sounds like Governor Ferguson is pretty eager to sign this one as well, so I would imagine that the House will move this one pretty quickly.
We also had the bill yesterday in the state Senate lowering the legal drinking limit from 0.08 to 0.05. Can you maybe just give us a little background on this?
Yeah, this is a bill that they've been trying to pass for a few years now. I want to say maybe this is the third or fourth year that they've been trying to pass this one. And then this puts us in line, if passed, if the House decides to pass this would put us in line with Utah as the only other state that has such a low BAC level. So this one will do the same. It's going to go to the House for a vote. This one actually had a little bit, some Democrats broke away from this one and voted with Republicans to vote against this bill, and some Republicans peeled off and voted in favor of this bill. So it was definitely a little different than the vote on the face coverings.
What are the arguments for and against?
The arguments for say that it'll make the roads safer, anything to get people to sort of change the culture in general of drinking, to get the culture to be more like, we don't drink at all before we get on the road, as opposed to, I can just have one or two. The opposition to this, however, Senator Holy got up and spoke yesterday. He's a Republican from Cheney, and he talked about how he's former law enforcement and said that it wasn't people that were at 0.08 that he was pulling over for DUIs. He's typically pulling over people who had 0.1, for example. It's not people that are on this sort of lower end. And so a lot of folks don't believe that this is actually going to move the needle at all or do anything to help with DUIs in the state, which, there have been quite a bit. There were quite a bit in 2024, according to the data that was thrown around yesterday at the debate.
Shauna, I think yesterday I got pulled off a lot of Christmas card lists from state lawmakers. I was leaked a copy of the state income tax proposal, the draft that's going on behind closed doors right now. 9.9% tax on people making over $1 million a year. So that's now kind of out. The public knows a little bit more about it. Where do things stand with the income tax proposal in Olympia?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I got to say, I'm, a little jealous, but, very proud that you were able to get a copy of that before the rest of us did. So that we heard earlier this week from Democrats that it sounds like they may try to get, sort of a draft out by tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then sometime next week. Just from what I was reading from your reporting, it's kind of in line with what we've already been told. It's this 9.9% tax levied on those with income over 1 million. Married couples share that. The athlete thing is really interesting. Athletes coming to play in the state would be taxed. So I think we're up for a pretty big fight on this one whenever this does come out. That's yet to be seen what the response is going to be once it is actually finally out, though.
Shauna, what are the other big things you're watching out for in the coming week?
Oh, that's a good question. There's a lot of bills. Today, there's a pretty interesting hearing that I'll be attending that is asking the state investment board to divest from coal and from private detention facilities. This has been an issue at the state investment board for the last year or so, with advocates against some of the investments that the board has been making showing up. And so this is the first time we're really seeing any of these bills even come to light. They probably won't move. They probably won't go anywhere, but it is the first time that we've really seen any action to try to get the board to move the needle on some of their investments.
How much longer do we have before it's do or die time for some of these bills? They either move forward or they get killed.
I believe the first cutoff is next week. I want to say the 4th, but don't quote me on that. But that will be the policy cutoff date. And then shortly after that, we'll have the fiscal cutoff date. But as you probably know, that doesn't necessarily mean that bills are dead. They can stay alive until the end of session if they're needed to implement the budget. So the dates are kind of rolling up on us pretty quickly, and very little time for some of these bills to get heard.
Yeah, 60 days goes by very fast. We appreciate your time this morning, Shauna. Seattle Times political reporter Shauna Sowersby.
Love having her on. Thanks, Shauna. It's 7:53. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic.
Well, the crash we have on northbound 167 just got a little bit worse. It's north of Highway 18 in Auburn. It's blocking the express toll lane and the left general purpose lane, and we're backed up now from Pacific. So it's going to take you well over an hour to make it from Puyallup to Renton, and that includes a 30-minute trip out of Auburn. It's also really heavy from 180th on in. Once you get through that, we have a 405 corridor drive from Renton to Bellevue of about 35 to 40 minutes, which is about average. Northbound I-5 is still seeing heavy brake lights past the north end of Boeing Field. I'm looking to see if we might have a new crash there. We have actually jumped up over an hour from Federal Way to Seattle, so kind of an average day for you guys there. Coming down from the north end, still struggling with hour and 25-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with the brake lights right where they should be, or what we've gotten used to. 99 southbound also really caught up in this as an alternate. And I'm also looking for a crash right around Port Orchard on westbound 16. Pretty heavy going around the corner and working your way around Sinclair Inlet over to Gorst. Don't have any info on it yet, but there is a backup there that wasn't just a little bit ago. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Our forecast, lots of rain around for the next couple of days. We'll be into the low 50s. Tomorrow we might see up to a quarter inch of rain. A little bit breezy tomorrow as well. Saturday, we'll get a break, mainly dry, but then Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, the showers are back. Right now in Seattle, it's mostly cloudy, still raining lightly and 48 degrees.
And our inbox is always open for your news, tips, story ideas. Just head over to mynorthwest.com, and you can contact the show by texting us, too, on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. That number is 888-973-5476.
And coming up in the next hour, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey on the Department of Transportation's response to requests for some Revive I-5 relief.
And more analysis of bills down in Olympia. Paul Query joins us from the Washington Observer. That is coming up at 8:15. You are listening to KIRO News Radio.
Does my voice sound pretty good? Better than I thought I would.
The John Curley Show.
I was really trying to work with my diaphragm.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I was screaming as everybody else was screaming. And all of a sudden, the muscles in my neck tightened up and it shut off blood in my head. I thought I almost passed out. I was so close.
What if you died?
I would have been paying no attention to me. Like, get up, Dad.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Lionel Richie. And Earth, Wind, and Fire. The tour continues. Seattle, you're invited to sing a song all night long. Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Together in one magical night you don't want to miss. Climate Pledge Arena, August 3rd. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I want to do.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Cammie McCormick. President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, said today a possible drawdown in Minnesota could come if local authorities cooperate, suggesting a change in strategy by federal agents going after illegal migrants, as Ian Lee reports.
If someone is undocumented, if they're in the jail, then the jail will hand that person over to federal authorities. He says that is crucial because one agent can arrest one person. If that person is released, he says, then you need over a dozen agents to, one, go to that person's house to make that arrest. But also, he says you have to have a security detail also with that group and to protect them against potential protesters. And so he says that creates a big presence on the street.
Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine says immigration operations there have come to an end, as Michael Wallace reports.
Collins says she asked Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to have ICE reconsider its approach to the immigration crackdown in Maine. The Republican senator says there are no ongoing or planned large-scale ICE operations. Maine Attorney General Aaron Fry says he received more than a dozen credible complaints about excessive force by federal agents.
We have concerns about the way in which First Amendment rights have been trampled on.
In ICE's latest operation in Maine, called Catch of the Day, agents have made more than 200 arrests. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns reports from Capitol Hill there is a possible deal to fund the government and address Democrats' concerns over DHS funding.
Essentially, what Democrats want to do, and the White House apparently seems open to this, is separate out that DHS funding bill from the rest of the package. So pass the rest of the package, things like funding the Pentagon, transportation, education, and other agencies, pass a shorter-term funding bill for DHS to buy more time for negotiations over ICE policy, immigration policy to continue. So a deal seems to be shaping up to avert a government shutdown at this point.
In the South, the ice from the winter storm continues to cause problems. No power or water to many. Reporter Katie Weiss has the latest from Oxford, Mississippi.
It has become a pretty dire situation for over 100,000 people across the state of Mississippi who are still without power, now day 5 in a row without power. And here in Oxford, there are several people, thousands of people, who are also without any running water.
The death toll from the storm across the country stands at least 60. It swept across 2/3 of the nation. On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are lower. The Dow Jones Industrial is off 306 points. This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to CBS Mornings on the go on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
8:03, time to check traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And we're entering the 8 o'clock hour with no real super surprises out there. Everything's about normal with one exception. Well, actually two now, but we do have northbound I-167 really heavily blocked right around Auburn. The express toll lane and the left general purpose lane are blocked just north of Highway 18, and that's why we've got about a 15-minute delay getting up through the Pacific area. Once you're through that, it's a pretty good drive until you get up to about 180th. So overall, it's still over an hour from Puyallup to Renton, and then Renton to Bellevue's got about a 40-minute trip for you. I'm still hunting for a crash on northbound I-5 just at the north end of Boeing Field. Whatever we had there might be gone. Either way, it's pretty heavy from the beginnings of Boeing Field, and we're up over an hour now for one of the first days in the last couple of weeks, so plan on just a little bit of a delay. Northbound 509's been heavy today as well. We had an earlier crash right near 112th and also something on the First Avenue South Bridge. Both have kind of taken care of themselves. Coming down from the north end, we finally cleared the crash in the HOV lane on southbound 5 right around the forced merge. We still have over an hour from Linwood to Seattle, about an hour and 10 from Linwood down into Bellevue. It is bumper to bumper away from Linwood all the way through Totem Lake now. Lake bridges, though, are holding their own. This report brought to you by Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-AWAY, serving the Pacific Northwest for over 30 years with hundreds of 5-star reviews. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com.
8:04 on the Thursday, January 29th, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
If you drive I-5 during your morning commute, you know the pain. Revive I-5 construction project on the Ship Canal Bridge has the express lane stuck northbound only for another year.
Just heard Sully saying an hour from Linwood to Seattle right now. Well, yesterday on the Jake and Spike show, they put WashDOT on the hot seat.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
Yeah, if you're on I-5 South right now, I mean, you know what we're talking about. It is miserable, and WashDOT's Tom Pierce and Mike Squires told the Jake and Spike show, you know, they get it.
It's pretty obvious what drivers are experiencing, and we know it's a challenge for folks that are dealing with that.
But they also explained they absolutely have to inspect, repair, and repave the Ship Canal Bridge, and that means keeping the southbound express lanes closed and the northbound express lanes open for the next year to alleviate that northbound traffic, because I-5 northbound over the bridge is down to 2 lanes. And that is going to last for another year. The result is an average hour-and-a-half commute from Everett to Seattle and Bellevue.
You know, we've got this huge project that we've got to get done.
And sorry, I was distracted there by Sully. I'm so sorry. A couple people have. Well, a couple have.
That wasn't me scoffing at your report. It was me coughing.
I thought so. There's some cold going around. I'm just saying. So anyways, Jake and Spike asked WashDOT. Here's the big question. Ready? Why? Why can't they open the southbound express lanes just for a little while?
Can't we open those lanes up just as they do traditionally outside of road work times? Can't we open those lanes up?
Well, here's the reason they are saying no, they can't.
If we didn't have a way to maintain throughput and capacity on the roadway system, anytime we had a collision occur, for instance, the northbound I-5, all of northbound would basically be shut down until we're able to clear that crash.
So then Spike asked, what about getting rid of tolling for a little while anyway, for a year on 405 and 99, so people can find that alternate route and maybe not have to pay for it? Here's the answer to that.
The State Tolling Commission sets the tolls. WSDOT doesn't control those.
Yeah, but you have their number and we don't. Can you call them and see if they consider it?
Guys,
we can certainly mention it.
Bottom line. There's a reason, folks, Sully plays that during his traffic reports every morning, because day after day after day, just like the movie Groundhog Day, we're going to see those delays, I-5 south, and WashDOT says it is somehow going to get better with no plan to actually make it better.
All right. Luke, thank you. There's a proposal in the state legislature which would penalize drivers for not renewing their car registration.
We think that there are millions of dollars out there that are not being collected, which is not fair to everyone else that pays these car tabs.
KIRO 7 TV reports the minimum fines could go up to $242 if you're stopped with a registration that's been expired more than 2 months. Parked and unoccupied cars could be ticketed as well.
It's a terrible scene that's in the town of Vaughan on the Key Peninsula as a man returned home to find everyone dead. We get more from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Pierce County deputies were called to the home in Vaughan just before 1:30 Tuesday afternoon. The man returned home from work and found his wife, adult son, and the family dog shot to death in a bedroom. Investigators say the son was struggling with mental health and addiction issues, and although unconfirmed, murder-suicide is suspected. Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto.
We are not looking for any suspects. Everybody is contained to this scene. The husband has been very cooperative.
And Deputy Capetto says a handgun was found near the bodies. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The blood supply in the Pacific Northwest is critically low. Bloodworks Northwest urging everyone to donate if they can. Juan Cotto says Bloodworks has only a 1 to 2 day supply, and 5 to 7 days is optimal.
If just a small percentage of eligible people step up, we can fix this relatively quickly.
Cotto says they need a couple thousand donors in the next week to return the supply to a healthy level. If you want to help, go to bloodworksnw.org.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Still thinking of those Linwood girls from the 80s. Here I was in Edmonds, and the high hair, the mascara.
Is that Echo and the Bunnymen? Who is that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
That's like sugar.
It was right back here in the back of my head.
Even Sully knew that. Come on.
Heck yeah.
I love that song.
So you've been talking about the hair tease, the 80s girl.
Yeah.
What were you wearing?
Oh, man.
Right?
Come on. Were you
Parachute
going double
pants?
jeans, jean jacket,
hammer
pants? I mean, come on.
Yeah, it was really difficult to keep the ladies away from me in high school.
I just showed.
Right, so what were you wearing?
I'm trying to remember. I did have one of those jeans jackets with the
Acid
fleece.
wash?
Yeah, of course it was acid wash. The hypercolor T-shirt. Remember that?
I just showed Charlie a picture of my hair in high school, my senior year, and there's a reason I have no hair now.
I get it.
Well, this is Seattle's Morning News. Great to have you with us on this Blue Thursday.
Indeed. Producer David Burbank is here in the studio with us. Nick Kreisha is picking the tunes, and pushing all the buttons this morning.
For sure. Well, coming up this hour of the show, we're going to get our legislative update. Paul Query from the Washington Observer on Substack will join us.
Also, G. Scott on the interest surrounding Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. He seems to be quite the hot commodity right now.
At 8:10, a bill that would limit when police officers can cover their faces while interacting with the public has passed the Washington State Senate.
The bill requires law enforcement officers to be clearly identifiable and generally prohibits them from wearing opaque facial coverings while on duty. Democrat Yasmin Trudeau voted yes.
In America and in Washington State, we will not accept secret police.
Republican Phil Fortunato voted no. He says ICE agents and their families have been threatened.
That's why they're wearing masks. They're not wearing masks because they're secret police.
Senate Bill 5855 passed by a vote of 30-19. Frank Lindsay, KIRO Newsradio.
Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray is part of a growing number of lawmakers demanding an independent investigation into the death of Alex Pretty, the American citizen killed in a confrontation with Border Patrol in Minneapolis over the weekend.
Right now, the only department they will let investigate this tragedy is the department that was responsible for it. That cannot be how things work in this country. Not if we're going to keep the democracy that we all cherish.
Murray also says she will not vote on a spending bill unless funding for the Department of Homeland Security is split off. She says reforms are needed. If some Democrats don't vote for the bill, the U.S. could be headed for a partial government shutdown.
A big cargo ship turned some heads as it approached the port of Tacoma over the last week. Green and red shipping containers had been arranged to spell Renee. Here's KIRO Newsradio's Jillian Raftery.
Speculation exploded online that it was a tribute to Renee Good, a U.S. citizen shot and killed in a confrontation with federal agents in Minneapolis. But the Tacoma News Tribune investigated, and they found out it was actually a birthday message to a Renee Carmona. She tells the News Tribune her boyfriend arranged it when the ship left Long Beach, California, and he's done it before. The containers have now been rearranged to erase that message. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
And quickly, in case you missed it, the voice of the Mariners calls it a career. Rick Riz spoke with reporters yesterday, just a day after announcing the 2026 season will be his last.
It's been a great journey. Let's go win the whole doggone thing. Thank you, guys.
He says baseball is like theater, except in baseball, there is no script.
Okay, taking a look at the forecast brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain today, cloudy for the afternoon, a high of 53. Rain heavy at times for tomorrow, Friday, 52. Saturday is a dry day of the weekend. Might even have some sun breaks, a high of 57. 54 scattered showers on Sunday. Right now in Seattle is 48 and cloudy.
It's 8:13. Let's check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. Take it away, Sully.
I get to pat myself on the back. I mean, I didn't get a draft copy of the new income tax. Like
only
our good
Charlie
friend, like
do
Charlie. But when the travel times for the WashDOT have been down this morning, they've been having a little computer issue. I really like it when they come back on and the travel times I've been giving in the absence of that are exactly the travel times that are posted when it's up.
Look at you.
So it's kind of like I know what's going on.
It's like a little no-look pass that you're doing.
It's kind of like I'm aware of what's happening. And yeah, we are dealing with hour and 10-minute trips from Linwood to Seattle and Linwood to Bellevue. And those are 20, 25-minute delays over what we expect. And that's getting us close to an hour and a half all the way from Everett to Seattle or to Bellevue. Good news for those of you stuck trying to get through Pacific and Algona, trying to get up to Auburn. The crash that was blocking 2 lanes there just north of Highway 18 has cleared. We still have about a 50-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton, but only 25 of those minutes are out of Auburn. So that's great. 40 minutes, maybe a little under, from Renton to Bellevue. Federal Way to Seattle still struggling past 272nd and then a little bit past the West Seattle Bridge, running at about an hour today. So kind of on its average. It's not faster than average today. Across the lake, both of the lake bridges seeing a little bit of westbound slowing, but it's manageable. The drive, whatever we had through Port Orchard, appears to have cleared itself because we're not seeing any backup now. Westbound 16 getting around the corner into Gorse. So right now, about average. This report brought to you by Simply Seattle. Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop original Seahawks playoff gear and custom Simply original designs. Shop in-store or online. Enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com.
But was it a no-look pass to JSN, who caught it with one hand? Huh?
Perhaps.
Seattle's morning news.
I would have thrown it to a tight end, to be fair.
You would have thrown it to a long snapper.
Yeah, that is all. But they're usually not eligible.
It's 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
We digress.
Let's head over to Paul Query from the Washington Observer on Substack. He is the editor and publisher of that publication, and he joins us every Thursday at 8:15 during the legislative session.
Great to have you, Paul. Let's start with the income tax proposal. Pretty shocking discovery for us yesterday. What'd you think of the draft when you read it?
Well, I mean, the interesting thing about that income tax proposal is that technically it's a tax on everyone, even though it's played as millionaire tax. There's just a big exemption in there for everyone, for the first $1 million of your income. So it wouldn't be rocket science to change that bill to cover, much larger number of people.
By lowering the threshold, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Paul, one thing I was curious about, and kind of the reason when that was leaked to me, I felt it was important to get out in front of people, is that so many of these bills are conducted and drafted behind closed doors. You've been on both sides of this equation. A bill like this, what is going on in terms of the negotiations and the preparation?
Yeah, I mean, basically, you're looking to sort of workshop the bill with, what are called stakeholders, which are mostly, lobbyists, people who are interested in getting the bill passed, people who might bring significant resources to a campaign to sustain this at the ballot box, so on and so forth. And you kind of want to get as many of those folks on board before you actually introduce the bill.
So can I underline that? Can I underline that, Paul? Lobbyists see this before the public sees this.
I think you could say that. That draft was passed to me as well. So I think it was handed around to a large number of people just to get kind of feedback before they decided to put it in the hopper. And we've seen this historically with a lot of tax bills. Folks are reluctant to introduce them, to vote for them, even to hold hearings on them, because that creates a record that might make you vulnerable in the next election. Drafts of tax bills getting passed around before they actually get filed that's not a new thing.
Can you talk to me a little more about what critics are calling the jock tax? How would this work?
So basically, and this is how it works in most states that have an income tax. If you're a professional athlete and you're playing in, let's just say, California or Oregon, typically you owe income tax in that state for the amount of time that you spent there to play the game. And, not too surprisingly, those folks are going to get raked in here.
So big picture here, the state constitution says there's no income tax, and it sounds like we're going to have an income tax. What kind of pushback can lawmakers expect on this bill?
Well, I think you'll see tremendous unified pushback from the Republican minority, which means that the bill will move as slowly as the Republicans can make it move. So you'll see a lot of probably some all-night debate and, really extended committee hearings in which there are tremendous numbers of amendments. But ultimately, I don't think that we would see this proposal unless the Democratic majority had the votes to pass it. I think that it's likely to go forward. There's definitely going to be broad pushback. It's aimed kind of specifically at the higher end of the tech community. Obviously there are folks who in that world who consider it to be kind of a job killer, and would encourage our, major tech companies to locate their jobs elsewhere.
Charlie, you did your commentary this morning on Senate Bill 5312. You want to talk more about that?
Yeah, and I'm curious if you are familiar with this. This is the one that was proposed by Senator Wellman last year, which would reduce the penalties for people convicted in net nanny operations where it was a cop they solicited sex from instead of a child. I was just, first of all, surprised to see that it still had a pulse, Paul, and that it's been reintroduced this session. I can't imagine it's going anywhere, but I'm also surprised, based on the blowback last year, that Senator Wellman didn't didn't pull this bill.
Well, I think that it's relatively uncommon for lawmakers to actually pull things. I'm not, that's not a thing I've really seen. That bill didn't clear committee last year, and I don't even think it got a hearing this year. So, I mean, we would kind of expect it to die in the normal course of the process. The sort of next deadline for that is next week. So, I'd be surprised to see that bill pick up any momentum, as you note. That's a hot button subject.
Speaking of hot button subjects, the hot one yesterday was the Senate voting on this bill that would ban face coverings for law enforcement in the state. It passed. What are the arguments on both sides?
Well, there's, obviously this stems from the Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers that we've seen in the news, all over the country. It's common for them to wear face coverings, which they were told to prevent being doxxed and being sort of harassed for their work. So the bill that passed yesterday would ban law enforcement officers from, in general, from wearing that kind of mask in Washington. It was a contentious debate. It's not clear that federal law enforcement officers are going to smack themselves in the forehead and change their practices because of Washington law. In fact, this law is probably going to apply more to local law enforcement officers in Washington state. And there's, some degree of controversy there. You had the Pierce County Sheriff, who's a controversial figure in and of himself, saying that if the bill passed, that he would basically order his officers to wear face coverings in a kind of protest.
Paul,
Again, it's a pretty hot issue.
Paul, you've been doing this for a while, both as a journalist, but also a practitioner of the dark art of PR and lobbying. I'm just curious, what is the smart person watching for in the coming week in the state legislature between when we're talking now and when we talk again next week?
Next week is the policy cutoff for for bills to clear their first committee. And the most interesting thing for us is sort of what lives and dies at those key deadlines. And we're keeping a kind of a sharp eye on that stuff. But we're also seeing stuff move that has not moved in the past. So, for example, I know that you did a segment earlier on about the lowering the blood alcohol content for impaired driving. And, that bill has languished without a vote in the Senate for years, and it passed yesterday. So,
Paul Query, this is going to be an interesting week in front of us. It's a short 60-day session, and you're writing all about it on the Washington Observer on Substack. Paul, thanks for your time this morning.
It's great to be with you.
All right, take care. It's 8:23. That's time to check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes, and Chris Sullivan is watching the drive.
By the way, I can't believe you guys haven't discussed the biggest bill so far. One that passed the Senate yesterday, designating the official state cactus.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Paul, why didn't you get us that scoop?
Sure, they have plenty of time to talk about that in a 60-day session. But anyway, that got passed yesterday. I sent that out. I don't know why we didn't get more coverage on it. Probably because I should do my job now. Yeah. Okay, Federal Way to Seattle. We're back down to faster than normal. Not too bad through Federal Way. Heavy at the north end, but we're under 35 minutes from South Center to downtown and under 55 all the way. Still struggling with a 90-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. That used to be, about an hour and 10 when it was normal. Now we're running 25 minutes behind schedule because of the new configuration with the express lanes the way they are. Northbound 405, about 40 minutes. Behind that, the Valley Freeway, a little over 50, but we're definitely clearing out in most of Pierce County. Lake Bridges, westbound I-90 is, not bad. Westbound 520 is a little heavy because you're driving into the actual Ship Canal Bridge closure zone. Speaking of that, right on cue, we're kind of running about 8 minutes behind schedule from Mercer up past that through the construction zone, so just be prepared. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
We're going to see rain tomorrow, today and tomorrow, with highs in the low 50s, overnight lows in the mid-40s, and we should get a break from the rain on Saturday, but back to showers on Sunday. It's cloudy and 48 in Seattle right now, and coming up, Luke Ducey with more on the Super Bowl. Also today's Tech Talk on how technology may have helped the Hawks advance to Santa Clara. It's now 8:25.
Commercial word here. So, are you commuting to work right now? Think about how hard you have been working every day of your life. I mean, decades of early mornings, you're doing long hours, the whole thing. You save, you sacrifice, and you finally, one day, you're going to get to retirement. And then the government wants 30-40% of that in taxes. I'm sorry, I must have missed the meeting where we all agreed that was fair. But I have some good news for you. You don't have to just accept it. Because, you know, those tax strategies wealthy families use? Well, if you have saved more than $300,000, they're available to you, too. Boss Retirement Solutions, right here in Seattle, is offering a free retirement tax savings analysis. No obligation, just an honest look at what you could be saving. Got $300,000 saved? Well, call Boss, 206-210-1350. Boss Retirement Solutions, 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
The G and Ursula Show.
Seattle is at the top of another list.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
We are officially the most expensive city to host a Super Bowl party. As it gets more and more expensive, do you do things like, hey,
potlucks are fun. Yeah, that's normal. I have friends that'll come over and they'll bring something. Yeah. And I also got those friends that either bring paper plates or ice. Cornelius, I have him bring ice. He's a great ice guy.
On KIRO Newsradio and the KIRO Newsradio app.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Do you like helping others? Become a Shiva volunteer. In Pierce County, join the hundreds of volunteers across Washington state who help over 90,000 people each year with their Medicare options and questions. You don't have to know Medicare. We'll teach you. And if you're bilingual, even better. For more information and how to apply, call Shiva at 1-800-562-6900 or go to insurance.wa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and aired by the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts for 34 years. Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Get a no-pressure consultation from a real person, never an AI bot. Web search Best Mortgage for honest advice you can trust.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from Eastlake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 8:31. Some Seahawks fans are taking their 12's pride to new heights.
They are raising money to fly a 12 flag over San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge during Super Bowl weekend.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here to explain.
12's come up with the craziest ideas to support the Hawks, don't they? Like Tim, who got a Seahawks victory tattoo before they went to Super Bowl 48.
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy at all. There's no tiny little bit of doubt at all anywhere in my head.
You're a little crazy, Tim. And this Tim, who painted himself like the Incredible Hulk, we all know this guy, Sea-Hulk, before Super Bowl 49.
I'm hoping that I get on TV one time at the Super Bowl.
And one of those crazy ideas somehow recently popped into Tansley Allen's head to fly a giant 12-man flag over the Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco, and Santa Clara. But it wasn't the first crazy idea that entered her head.
Is there a way I can get a 12 flag on the Golden Gate Bridge? I'm like, nah, the legal stuff with that, like the safety issues. I'm like, but I can fly one over that bridge just fine.
I love that, the legal stuff with that. Yeah, it's called being arrested. So she's raising money to do this. You can check out their GoFundMe page on our YouTube feed as well. We've got it up. So when we first told you about this at 6:30, they had raised about $4,400. 7:30, they were up to about 4,600 or so. Now it looks like they're up to 4,730 something, and they've reached about 60% of their initial goal. And this is after we posted the story to mynorthwest.com. So I guess. Did I do that? I guess maybe we did do that a little bit. Alan tells me they have a plane and a pilot lined up, and they just need to make the 35 by 35 foot flag now and pay for the flights.
It's like $3,000 a flight, like per day. Or if we commit to their weekend package, $30,000.
And this is why it is so important to them to do this.
Because this is really like for the 12s. This is for the 12s to be part of something. Like everybody is priced out of tickets. Like the tickets are astronomical. So many fans would love to be there and they can't.
So good luck to them. If they get this done after we win the Super Bowl, they're going to donate that flag to that I-90 location near Issaquah. You come in westbound I-90, you see the big 12 flag up there in the hills. So they're going to replace that flag because it gets tattered in the weather. Again, we've got a link to the GoFundMe page on mynorthwest.com. Go Hawks. Good luck with that. That's awesome.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Did I do that?
For those not in the know, what the heck was that? Is that a South Park
Was that
thing?
a bad Urkel?
That's an Urkel. I thought everyone knew that.
But it sounds too apologetic when Urkel says it. I think we should be proud if we did. Okay. I think let's own it. Yeah. People donated because we were talking about it.
Been there, done that.
He played Urkel.
Sorry.
Yeah, we do everything here. I'm telling you, you're gonna hear things you're not gonna hear anywhere else. Only here on KIRO News Radio.
Yeah, I guarantee you there is not another news program in the country today playing Steve Urkel.
Well, that's their problem.
Cowards. Time to check traffic.
Thank you, Luke.
Did he do that?
Yes. All right. Sully, it's time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. Please save us.
Since when am I the voice that's standing
You know,
around here?
you're not, but tell us about the traffic.
Well, it's getting better on northbound I-5. Federal Way on up to South Center doesn't look too bad. We are pretty heavy from the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. Travel time is still faster than normal at about 50 minutes, so that's not too bad, but 35 of those minutes are from South Center. Northbound 405 struggling from 167 all the way up past 44th. We're going to have ourselves about a 40-minute trip. Behind that, the Valley Freeway, 45 to 50, depending on how you hit the volume at the north end. Coming down from the north end, about an hour and 15 minutes from Linwood into Seattle. That's about a 25-minute delay. About an hour and 10 from Linwood down into Bellevue. That's also about 25 minutes slower than normal. Across the lake, we're doing really well, though there are some breaks westbound, as you would imagine, getting over to I-5 on both of them. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2.
Forecast calls for occasional showers today. Highs will be touching the low 50s. Rain tomorrow, heavy at times, quarter-inch possible. We dry out for Saturday. Partly sunny by the afternoon, dry, 57. Showers make a comeback on Sunday with a high of 54. Seattle right now, it's 48.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
It's 8:36. In this week's Tech Talk, during the NFC Championship on Sunday, a single play almost led to doom for the Seahawks late in the game.
Until KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports a combination of good refereeing and technology helped send the Hawks to the Super Bowl.
One of the biggest moments in the Seahawks win Sunday didn't come from a touchdown. It came from technology. Late in the fourth quarter, Seattle leading by 4. Cooper Kupp caught a short pass on third down with just over 3 minutes left.
Time throws it over the middle. Cooper Kupp makes the catch, reaches out. Ball came out, but he was down on the ground.
He stretched for the line to gain. He hit the ground, and the ball came loose. To start out,
this is a huge play.
As Football First's Kevin Kennedy explains, the referees determined Kupp was tackled down by contact and didn't fumble the ball because
he catches the ball, he takes 2 steps.
Meaning he had possession of the football and made a football move.
Therefore, when he hits the ground cannot cause a fumble, so he is down upon impact.
However, what came next was another call that didn't just come down to the naked eye. Instead, it was
so close. Really close.
To get a first down, just a millimeter of the ball needed to cross the line to gain. And this is where technology helped save the day. As we told you in last week's Tech Talk, the NFL is now using new technology called the Hawkeye Smart Replay System, aptly named, that pulls together every broadcast camera angle and 6 8K NFL cameras all at once to make quicker and more accurate calls, just like Tom Brady said on the play-by-play.
Oh, there'll be a good look at that one, too.
Crews at Lumen Field and in New York analyzed and measured the exact placement of the ball faster than ever before. And at the end of this pivotal third down play in the Seahawks' most important game in more than a decade.
Ruling on the field as the runner was down by contact, and it's a first down.
Oh, so they say first down.
Wow.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Ah, stuff it, Tom Brady. I mean, he is a former New England Patriot. So, what did Kupp have to say after the game?
Yeah, you never reach on third down.
And by reaching out, he kind of committed a cardinal sin in football.
You reach for it on third down, you fumble, that opportunity's gone now. You've eliminated the chance for anything on fourth down, and so that's why you don't do it on third, but it worked out.
Sometimes the game comes down to inches.
It is a first down. Oh, against his former team. Cooper Kupp makes what might be one of the plays of the game right there.
Sometimes it comes down to the tech that measures them.
You know, in the playoffs, don't the rules kind of bend a little bit?
Yeah, it really feels like that.
Whatever you can to get it.
Yeah, and we did it.
Yes, amazing.
Yes. Well, you know what else is pretty cool? The NFL GOAT has been talking. By the way, we've been saying GOAT all morning.
Yeah, don't stuff it, Tom Brady, as Luke said. Because he said some nice things.
Yeah. Greatest of all time, Tom Brady, talking highly of the Seahawks. Here's what he had to say.
There's no doubt to me the best team in the NFC is playing in the Super Bowl. That's for sure.
Former New England Patriot quarterback Tom Brady talked to the Brock and Salk show yesterday on our sister station 710 Seattle Sports, gave props to Mike McDonald and John Schneider.
You know, Coach McDonald, again, he's so young in his coaching career, but he's had tremendous success in a short period of time. And I give, John a ton of credit for, he's just an incredible executive, how he's turned over the roster and maintained the culture. There's just been so much success over time. So, again, it all starts at the top and trying to do the right things every day in order to be successful. And Seattle's done an incredible job of that.
They have that entire interview up on the Seattle Sports YouTube page. Great one to check out.
Pretty cool. It's 8:39. What's coming up in traffic, Sully?
Well, we're going to take a look at northbound I-5 and why it's so slow past the West Seattle Bridge.
The G and Ursula Show.
We going to the Super Bowl.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
I have been told about Woodstock and how it was just peace, love, and hair grease. That was the energy amongst Seahawk fans everywhere.
People were doubting Sam Darnold. He had the game of his lifetime.
At the game of his life. He won 14 games with the Minnesota Vikings last season, and he won 14 games with the Seahawks this season.
Subscribe to the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel and watch live.
When it comes to Subarus, Carter Subaru stands alone, literally. They're Seattle's only Subaru dealership with more than 700 Subarus ready to go. Looking for a Crosstrek? The 2025 Crosstrek is just 1.9% financing for 72 months. That's serious value on a great vehicle built for the Northwest. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 1/31/26.
Have you thought about how your finances should change in 2026? Well, my friends at WaFd Bank can help. Right, Brad?
Right, Dave. Set your financial goals and stick to them with free checking. No minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. You also get spending tools to help you stay on top of your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states.
And tell me about this voice-activated banking I've been hearing about.
You can check your balance and make transfers between your WaFd accounts when your hands are full, which, let's face it, is probably most of the time. You'll also have access to free tools like person-to-person payments with Zelle, mobile check deposit, intuitive new debit card management tools to turn your card on and off, set spending notifications, and when those unfortunate times happen, submit fraud disputes right inside the WaFd mobile app.
And you can choose from those great-looking Seattle Kraken and Seattle Seawolves debit cards. So visit wafdbank.com to open your account today. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about hockey. Don't you love a sport where it's almost fair game to throw off your gloves and bare knuckle it in that gray area? Hockey brings excitement, intensity, passion, often drinking. It's like a party with a puck. If you enjoy too many shots at the bar while watching slap shots on the ice, don't try to make a breakaway because the police won't just stonewall your goal. They're much more likely to throw you in that penalty box. And it won't be just a few minutes to think about what you did. Go ahead, enjoy cracking one open. Just don't overdo it. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com for your free private consultation. Hockey is one of the only sports where you can wrap around the goal and there's no out of bounds. But the roadway is a different story. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
8:43 now. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic.
And we are working with a relatively normal commute out there. The most unusual that we have right now is over the last couple of weeks, we've gotten used to not having a big jam up northbound I-5 from the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. We kind of have that today. We had a couple of early crashes. It's still 35 minutes to go from South Center into downtown, which is about average. But behind that, it's only 15 minutes from the Federal Way up into South Center. So we have about 51 minutes, which by most days' standards before we had the new lane configurations is probably a little faster than normal. Valley Freeway is faster than normal. We've cleared out really nicely. We've got about a 48-minute trip, maybe a little under, depending on how you hit the volume from 180th on in. And then a little over 40 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. The S-curves are active, and then it's not terrible the rest of the way on up, but boy, you hit the brakes right around I-90 before easing off into downtown Bellevue. Both of the westbound Lake bridges running right around 25 minutes, and we're now up to an hour and 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle, an hour and 20 of that from Linwood, so 25 to 30 minutes behind schedule with the loss of the express lanes. For 405, it's running about 10 minutes faster, but still an hour and a half from Everett to Bellevue is not great. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO Newsradio App where you can listen to your favorite shows, get the latest news and updates right to your phone.
Well, the rain this morning should taper off to showers for the afternoon hours. Just a light breeze and a high of 53 for today. Tomorrow, we'll see steady rain early on, tapering to showers in the afternoon, up to a quarter inch of rain for tomorrow. Saturday looks dry, then back to the showers on Sunday. Right now, it's cloudy and 48 in Seattle.
8:44 now, and coming up, we speak with G. Scott. We have some Seahawks developments that we're paying attention to. He's coming up next on Seattle's Morning News.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we understand improving your home is an investment in your family, and we're here to help make it easier. With our flexible financing, keeping your family safe, comfortable, and dry has never been more affordable. For more than 20 years, Guardian has earned the trust of thousands of homeowners across the Pacific Northwest with a reputation for quality that lasts. So why wait? Start guarding your home today. Call or visit guardianroofing.com.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I mean, I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain and stem cells really worked for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Feeling cold? Your windows may be the issue. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors for 25% better energy efficiency and up to 30% energy bill savings. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Well, here he is from the Reset podcast, the G and Ursula Show, celebrating its 6th anniversary today.
Yeah.
G. Scott.
Great throwback pictures of you guys on Facebook.
Yeah.
Question for you, G.
What you got, bruh?
Can you get me some Super Bowl tickets?
Oh, my gosh.
May I borrow your hat?
Give me some swag.
Okay, before we get, by the way, I'm going to talk about the Seahawks offensive coordinator here in a sec because he is supposed to be being interviewed for multiple head coaching jobs. Matter of fact, let me get to the story, then I'll get to that.
Okay.
Clint Kubiak, offensive coordinator for the Seahawks, is interviewing for multiple head coaching jobs. After, of course, the Seahawks offense were top 10 all season. They're saying that as of this week, he's set for second interviews with the Las Vegas Raiders and the Arizona Cardinals. A lot of people edging with the Raiders in particular because it has been reported Tom Brady on the broadcast kept marveling about the offense and and Clint Kubiak. And as you all know, Tom Brady is kind of in ownership-ish, right, with the Raiders. Here's the thing. The Raiders and the Cardinals are always in rough shape. Their ownership is trash, hot trash. That's the same ownership that went from Oakland to Las Vegas. I don't care what football team you have in Las Vegas. Football teams are going to have a hard time winning in that place. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. The Arizona Cardinals organization is ran like a mom and pop store. Some of these organizations aren't that great. This is the reason why these are the last two teams that are holding out for coaches. Hey, Clint Kubiak, if you're listening, which probably you're not, I would tell you this. All money ain't good money. Sometimes there are chances that maybe you're listening right now where you've had an opportunity to go to another job that would pay you more. But sometimes going to pay you more is a difference than treating you right. And when you're in this situation, you got a good situation here in Seattle. Now, granted, I'm biased. I am, for sure. But when I say a good situation in Seattle, look at the track record. Look at what Seattle has done the last 26 years. They have won 4 NFC championship games, right? No other organization has done that. The Seahawks did well under Mike Holmgren. They did well under Pete Carroll, and now they're doing well under Mike McDonald. So, hey, Clint Kubiak, I just don't think if you are going to get a head coaching job, I really don't believe the Raiders and the Arizona Cardinals is going to be for you. I would stay here and wait for another job. Now, if this was another opportunity like the
49ers.
Okay, if it was the 49ers, yes. Go there.
No, don't.
I mean, but I would understand. I'm not joking when I said, yes, I'm biased. I want him to stay. They're not even committed to their coaches. The Raiders right now are paying 5 coaches. They fire their coaches right away. You don't want to go to instability.
Well, and the other thing that I've heard brought up a lot is the reason we don't see other teams still in the running for Kubiak is because they have to wait until February 9th for him to even enter the building if they're able to sign him. And that's too long for a lot of teams to want their head coach, the head coach who's running all of it. I mean, the draft is just, a month or two after that.
Not even just the draft. The combine is coming up. You know what I mean? So, again, Clint Kubiak, as much as I'm biased towards the Seahawks, I want you to stay here forever.
Please.
But I'm being very honest when I say, if you're going to leave here, at least leave for a better thing. The Arizona Cardinals, there's a reason why, right? It's the Arizona Cardinals.
So about those Super Bowl tickets.
Yo.
Do you think you might be able to hook me up? What do you think?
Okay, can I ask you guys, listen, you guys,
it's just us. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Open up, G.
Clint Kubiak isn't listening.
I told my wife this last night. I talked to 15 people every single day. You guys
same
here,
15
the
people.
same 15. 4 here, Nick, a couple people out there, maybe 20. And I got a couple friends that I talk to outside of here. I talk to my wife, and then I'm in bed by 8 o'clock p.m. Of the people, 15 to 20 people that I talk to every day, not one of them ask me for anything. Think about that. Yeah. The closest people to me ask me for nothing. The last 7 days, or I should say 4 days, I mean, somebody just hit me up just now, and let me read the message. This is just one of them. Listen to how it goes.
Under the bus.
Hey, if you know, wait, there you go. Hey, if you know anyone else or someone that knows someone that may just have 2 tickets to spare, please guide me in that direction. Hey, I'm not a beggar, but, with my Seahawks finally in the Super Bowl, it's just something I would love to do. Thank you. Now, 99% I never respond. Unfortunately, today I did.
Uh-oh.
Today I did.
And?
You don't even follow me on here, and you're asking for connections for tickets? That's bold. I feel bad. I should have responded.
May I have your hat?
Let's see, which hat is this? Oh, this man.
I want nothing but your company.
Yeah, G, I've never seen him wear the same outfit twice.
Oh, no.
That has to be a good chance you might be able to get some clothing from him.
You know what? You're right.
Just ask our segments producer.
That's the one. I tell you what, Manda.
Uh-oh.
Tomorrow,
Manda.
Yes.
Tomorrow, I'm going to bring you a hat.
I don't want anything from you
No,
other
no,
than
no,
your time.
No.
But we're out of it.
But I want to.
Manda.
I have to excuse you now. Come on back tomorrow. I will ask you for nothing, I promise.
I'm giving you a hat tomorrow.
G and Ursula, 9 to noon.
Sully has traffic.
And we are struggling out of the north end, as we've come to appreciate over the last couple of weeks. Hour and a half trip to go from Everett to Seattle, with an hour and 15 of that from Linwood. About the same travel time coming down from Linwood on 405. Northbound I-5, a lot heavier northbound today, going up from the middle of Boeing Field. We've got about a 52-minute drive from Federal Way to Seattle, with 35 of that from South Center. 40 from Renton to Bellevue. The Valley Freeway's calming down, and Pierce County is in general. Lake bridges are okay. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Rain today and tomorrow with highs in the low 50s. Should see a dry day on Saturday, then back to the showers on Sunday. Right now, cloudy and 48 in Seattle.
Coming up, celebrating 6 years of the G and Ursula show. A lot of fun moments ahead, including a reveal of the meatball story. They say you won't want to miss it. This is KIRO News Radio.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
This winter, drive with confidence in a Subaru from Subaru of Puyallup. From rainy commutes to icy roads, Subaru's legendary all-wheel drive and advanced safety are built for our winters. Subaru of Puyallup is known for something even better, a stress-free car buying experience. No pressure, no games. Just friendly Subaru experts helping you find the right vehicle at the right price. Start shopping now and see our stress-free pricing exclusively at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
There are 5 things money can do for you: growth, liquidity, cash flow, protection, and tax advantages. Don't miss an opportunity because your current retirement plan only focuses on 2 or 3 of them. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Guys, your New Year goals start now. Get limited time savings on our most popular treatments at Revive Men's Health. Visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to see if you qualify to save hundreds.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1.